Hello, and welcome to the 58th episode of the Destiny Community Podcast, brought to you by Blue microphones and headphones and Scuff gaming controllers. This week, Poke Bear isn't here. I don't remember what the reason was.
Family stuff.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, if you're watching the podcast live, sorry that we started late. Turns out traffic in Seattle sucks.
Really?
So
I heard it was pretty nice.
Around rush hour? Why do they call it rush
know?
hour? I thought it was because everybody goes fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'll leave Bellevue at 5. I'll get to Woodinville at 5:45. Plenty of time for the Nope, got here at 6:30. Took an hour. Took an hour and a half to drive what normally takes about 15 minutes.
That happens during South by Southwest in Austin. Mm-hmm. It takes literally forever to go anywhere, so you typically just avoid downtown at all costs.
Yeah, feels good, man. If you guys hear that other voice, that is the Teawrex, the dinosaur himself.
Dino Tea Party.
It's me. Hello, I am not Poke Bear.
Or not, but
you may call me not Poke Bear all night.
You are a returning guest. We've had you on before. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back. I'm glad I was welcomed back. I thought for sure I was excommunicated.
I thought we were gonna have to. I thought I was gonna get a phone call and say, "Hey, Patrick, we're gonna have to replace you this week because you're taking too long to get on again this week." So yeah, okay, so we can get Broman on or something. Get the dinosaur and his brother on.
The Bro Force.
Anyway,
I was about to say, did you just call me my brother's name? Because I was gonna be.
No. So, faction rally happened again this week.
Yeah.
First time for PC.
It did. Yeah, first time on PC. I was actually personally really excited about it because of PC. Mm-hmm. Because shaders. I want New Monarchy shaders are beautiful, and on PC they're even more illustrious with the pixels.
Luminescent.
Yes.
The gold pops just a little bit more when it's in more FPS.
A little poppy.
I feel like
there's more light reflecting everywhere.
I feel like the bit depth
more
is
blinding.
Just a little more, crispy on PC. Also, Dire Promise is very crispy.
It's good.
Dire Promise is good.
Oof.
Ooh.
It's good.
Ooh. Also,
it feels like it hits things more so than other things, and it just hits it like so precisely, so crispily. It feels really good.
Crispily precise Dire Promise.
It's nice on big crit targets when you have like the triple tap up, so you just feel like you fire forever.
Yeah. It is nice.
Damage.
Did you guys get a chance to get the auto rifle from Dead Orbit?
Yes.
The high rate of fire one.
Guiding Star. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
A+ solid.
Same. I dig it a lot. I didn't think I was gonna. Yeah, I like Scavelock. It's like a go-to weapon. Whenever I'm feeling like a certain kind of machine gun-esque type of thing, I'm like, throw a Scavelock, get that type of thing going on. And I didn't realize Guiding Star was going to eclipse that a bit because I'm kind of putting Scavelock down now. It's got more ammo. It's got high caliber rounds.
Also has high caliber rounds, so it makes it a fantastic PvE weapon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If it was vertical recoil versus horizontal, I think it'd be really good in PvP as well.
Yeah.
The problem, I went to go use it, and I of course I didn't get the one thing I wanted from each faction on console. I didn't get the auto rifle from Dead Orbit. I didn't get the sidearm and then from Future War Cult, and I didn't get the scout rifle from New Monarchy. Didn't get those on console, but it's like they were the second drops for me on PC, so great. And I went to go try out the auto rifle in PvP, the Dead Orbit one, and I think it's good. I really can't tell because I'm getting shot by hand cannons so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sudden influx of Dire Promises in PvP.
Just suddenly everyone after about a week it's been 2 weeks now the game's been out on PC, I think, and everyone has realized in PvP that if you want to do well, use a hand cannon.
Hand cannons just feel so crispy, and you can use them in the air with like very little accuracy loss. Like there's no real downside to using them. It feels like Destiny Year One. Mm-hmm. They're just stupendous. They feel good and they work good.
That's how I've felt, actually. It's like I feel just nostalgic about Destiny Year One And I loved hand cannons in year 1, and then just felt destroyed about them after year 2. Even when they got a little bit better, I was like, it's just never going to be year 1 again for me. And now it's like, oh my God, on PC, it feels like year 1, all these hand cannons hit, and they're so fun. They're satisfying to use,
And, even better than year 1 in Destiny is I feel like there's multiple hand cannons that are viable, multiple classes of hand cannons. Like I could go with a Sunshot with a higher rate of fire and be very successful. I could go with the Better Devils with a slower rate of fire, be very successful. Like I don't feel locked into here's the absolute hand cannon you must use if you want to be successful. Like
don't use the slow rate of fire ones. I don't think
they're not good, are they?
If you miss, you're dead.
I've actually used the Strom with success. I would agree. It's not my favorite by a long shot, but I've used it with success.
I got a question. Have you guys had a chance to use Annual Skate and Minuet, the legendary, in PvP?
Yes.
On PC?
Yes.
Which one do you prefer?
Annual Skate.
Really?
Outlaw.
What about you, Watts?
I initially started with preferring Annual Skate, and I think now I prefer Minuet.
Minuet all the way. That initial shot, it just feels so good. And also because it's 4v4, I don't find myself needing Outlaw all the time. Like I feel like I have enough ammunition to get me through like the butt hugging meta.
You're not like in the you're not rapidly engaging multiple guardians as often.
Yeah.
At least not living.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's 4. Yeah, for what
I'm usually flanking, so like I can get off a quick first pick and then get a quick reload and then like have more ammo. So I think that's why I prefer having Outlaw, is just because it works a little bit better with my overall play style.
I just feel like Minuet hits a little bit more accurately than Annual Skate, because I used them both. I like Annual Skate for PvE because obviously Outlaw, but when it comes to PvP, I feel like Minuet has always just hit a little bit better.
I'm reading through this massive.
Oh, the
while you're reading that, let's talk about how I got a quad dip.
What? Quad dip?
Shit.
Yep.
A heroic?
Oh my.
Yes.
Can you tell us all about it? Like where was it? Who was there?
It was on Nessus.
Nessus,
because obviously
too.
the Flashpoint is Nessus.
Okay.
It was the Servitor.
What? That's a hard one to double and triple dip.
Well, the thing is that the chest spawns instantly, so you're getting everything instantly. Nothing has to kind of get away at all. So you could spawn right back in. I had a sniper equipped, so I spawned back in, sniped it quickly, picked it up. It was probably the 2nd or 3rd public event that I did that day, and it just happened, and it was beautiful. All the pieces fell into the right spot. And we got
every time you loaded in.
It was amazing.
Was there a public event, or did you have to reload a few times?
There was every time there was a public event.
The stars aligned.
I know, it was beautiful. It was.
This is amazing. Did you then think, what about the penta dip?
Oh yeah. For the rest of the time, I was like, I wonder how many dips we could get.
Did you immediately try and load into another event after the quad?
Oh yeah.
Well, of course. Why wouldn't you at that point?
Definitely. And then any public event on the map that looked like I couldn't go for at least a quad dip, I didn't want to touch it.
Hold on.
Want to do it.
Was there multiple quad dips?
Not worth.
No.
This was the only one, right? Yeah.
After that, we got triple dips.
Yeah, I'm finding it harder and harder to get like double and triple dips on PC.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't. Well, I load into empty stuff. I'm like, aw.
I think people are clearing faster on PC a little bit.
Yeah.
Now that they're a little more accustomed.
Yep.
Like the server one, I think. I forget where it was. We were in the EDZ and we had cleared it so fast. I think it was the fastest I've ever seen it before. The 3 guys spawned, died, and then within 5 seconds, the big it turned heroic and the big server died immediately.
Nice.
If you just have people continually shooting the big servitor while someone else just kills all 3, then it's so.
And then it got hit by 2 Nighthawks too. Right as soon as it turned heroic, it was like, oh, time to die.
Perfect.
It fell over.
That is awesome.
It's coordinated.
It was a beautiful thing.
That is fantastic. Have you guys ever trolled the chest?
Oh, like shoulder charge?
Shoulder charge
typically not when there's strangers around. Because I don't want to be that guy.
Tefty's like,
okay, I was that guy last night.
I've been
I don't know if I should be revealing this on the podcast, honestly.
Oh, if
you
don't,
have a
I'm going
secret
to.
account where you just troll stuff all the time.
So if you use the Wardcliffe coil, you can knock that baby far.
And have you touched it as a Titan?
I have. This is way more effective. Way more effective.
Without even having a weapon, you can just take that fist of yours and just
the coil will send that thing at the right angle. The coil will literally launch that thing away. And the main one, I forget what it's called, that you drop down on Nessus. You know that the drill
Artifact's Edge.
Yeah.
So
right. That
so I was like,
prime.
okay, here we go. We're coiling this chest. I run up, and it hadn't even spawned yet visually, and I knew it was about to spawn. I hit it with the coil, blew it off the edge, whatever physical box was about to spawn, and then it was gone. And people were like, "What? But the
Reported.
Just so everybody knows, you do get your loot once you've actually opened up another chest. So it doesn't it doesn't take your loot away. And in fact, I got an exotic out of that chest after I popped another one.
Oh,
yeah. So
now
you might actually just get exotics. So
I think that's probable.
That's so you're the good guy. You're giving people exotics.
I'm helping them out get exotics.
I don't see the problem.
Yeah.
So today I opened Cade's chests finally. I just didn't get him the first couple of days. And on my fourth chest, when I opened it, I got an exotic. And I was like, oh, wow. It's never happened before. Twitch, a viewer who just like looked at me for a second was like, Teawrex, you always get exotics out of every box you get. And I'm like, I do not. Like, you're exaggerating. We had like a whole minute conversation about exaggerating while I'm walking to the next chest. I get to the next chest and I open it and I ate my words immediately because I got another exotic in my fifth Cade chest. And
nice.
I was yelled at and berated by chat for hacking, paying Bungie money. So.
Toxic streamer guys getting all these exotics.
Hoarding all the exotics, which means no one else is getting them. You're taking them out of the loot pool. You're
Seems legit to me.
It was such a good day for exotics. I will say, we were talking about rating beforehand, before we started rolling. And I will say the best part about rating currently almost feels like when you get the keys, because the keys are like a 1 in 3 chance giving you an exotic in the belly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So if you need exotics, I still need so many exotics left over. I get so many duplicates. But I'll get them eventually. I still need a Wardcliff. I'm mad about it. It's my favorite exotic to use. It's so silly.
I've had 3 so far. Huh.
I'm actually excited for Zur every single week now because
that's true.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably going to bring something that I don't have. I swear to God, if you bring Mechanier's Trick Sleeves this week, I'm going to continue to go to you every week, but I'm not going to be happy about it.
My dream is currently I don't want much on Warlock, but I would say like a Crown of Tempest would be good for most people.
Mm-hmm.
And then he brings the Synthoceps, and then he brings the Orpheus rig, and then brings something like the Wardcliff, and people would just lose it.
That'd be pretty nuts.
It's a good week. That'd be a good
week. I've decided on PC that I'm not going to buy anything from Zur unless it's the Tractor Cannon. Because I want everything to drop for me, but I would not be able to resist the Tractor Cannon.
I have yet to get that Tractor Cannon on PC or on console.
It's glorious.
It was my first exotic on both. They just love me and the Tractor Cannon. We go
That's
together.
amazing.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty.
It's so fun. Like, just if you do it in PvP correctly, you can treat them like bowling pins.
It's so
you
fun.
Move multiple people at a time. So good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to ask you. So you're the guy with the Wardcliff in public events, for the chest specifically. Have you successfully murdered a fellow Guardian with the chest yet?
I only started doing this last night, and it was
that
briefly.
Should be your new goal.
It is for sure.
It is hilarious.
I've murdered a teammate, by they were standing right next to the chest and I shoulder charge into it, and the physics lock in a weird way to where it clips them. And then it goes flying. That's great fun, but I haven't done it to a blueberry, and that's new goal.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Watch out, blueberries! I'm coming for you.
I still have no idea how it happened, but I was doing a raid with my girlfriend, and we were just doing underbelly stuff afterwards, and she killed me with a Wardcliff, and I still have no idea how it happened. I was standing there with nothing around me. She shot at me, and I died, and I still to this day do not know.
That's the new meta right there. That's the new end game.
That is end game. Yeah.
Not the friend game.
She turned on Hipfire somehow. I don't know how she did it, but for 1 moment.
So physics must have just whacked out there for a second and caused you to fly and hit something.
To get shoved into a wall or something. even though all that was hitting me was the rockets.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's interesting. Yeah. It's cool.
Bad on the case.
That's my new goal right there. I'm going to get a blueberry with that chest.
So I have a quick question for you guys.
Okay.
I think I know what the answer is. Aside from the quest exotics, one, what is your favorite exotic? And two, how did you get it?
Does Legend of Acreus count?
Quest exotic now.
That's
That's
a
a
quest.
quest. Yeah.
Okay.
Is Sunshot a quest exotic? I guess.
Yes.
it is.
Oh.
Oh.
Hmm.
Does
I didn't
armor
think-
count?
Sure, armor counts.
Because Dragon Shadow
Okay.
chess piece is definitely my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember where I got it.
I
Probably from turning in.
an exotic engram.
Yeah. Hawthorne has given me a good amount of stuff. Like, she gave me Orpheus Rig. She gave
Okay.
me a bunch of other stuff when I got stuff from Hawthorne. But I don't think she gave me that.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I think I got to go with Sweet Business. I fucking love that gun. I especially love it on my Titan when I'm using the chest
Oh, the
piece.
war
That
rig.
yeah, the war rig. It just
I've
feels
noticed.
like I'm firing that gun forever, and like
The
that's
Rambo,
good in
man.
raids. It's fun in PvP. Like, it just doesn't matter where I am. I just like have this like gun that fires forever, and it's fun.
That's true.
When you
Where-
hear someone revving that up in PvP, you're like, there's no way. I can't fight that. When it's fully revved, you're just going to die.
And Briar, the second part of the question,
What was the second part?
where did you get it? How did you
Random Engram encrypted from Rahul.
get it? Okay.
As in no recollection.
Yes.
It's tough. I mean, I haven't got the tractor cannon yet on PC. I got on I got on PS4, so I could say that, and that is my favorite one. And it did, in fact, decrypt from an engram that I have no idea where I got that from. So it has no emotional attachment of the collection. I just have excitement over booping people. Actually, booping enemies in PvE too. They're surprisingly they take damage. I thought it just farted on them, but no, they actually take damage.
You should try using a Night Stalker tether and then boop them, and then it gets funny.
That sounds awesome.
You should do it because it instant space program. as the YouTube title said. It's fantastic. Teawrex?
I'd probably have to go back and say Winter's Guile is kind of like my current one on PC.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I don't know, man. When you get those 5 stacks and you have Devour running and you're just like surrounded by enemies.
Oh, boy.
And you just don't care because you just keep slapping them all. Like when there's a whole bunch of thrall or a whole bunch of dogs, and you use those as like your primer, and you walk up to like a red bar or like an orange bar shielded enemy, and just smack him and he dies.
Feels good. Do you remember where you got it from?
I believe that was my Zavala engram.
Okay.
I do remember my Zavala engram, and it was fighting Lion on PC. Yeah, I know. Spiteful. Isn't it interesting how we remember those things? What we got from Zavala?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was kind of getting at with this whole thing.
Yeah.
We have these exotics that we like using, so they're successful in that end. But one of the cool things about exotics in Destiny 1 and that they started talking about originally was like, we want you to have stories about how you got these and stuff like that. And everyone's tale is kind of the same thing where I don't know, I decrypted it from an engram. Unless it's one of the quest ones.
100% agree.
I'm hoping...
Part of that is just because you get them so rapid fire, though. Like,
Exactly.
The difference between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 in that regard for me is that like I've gotten so many more exotics so much quicker than I ever got in Destiny 1. Destiny 1, I was still looking for, vanilla exotics in like June.
I definitely agree with that. I also think it's because we kind of have like an oversaturation of turning in engrams where you're getting so many legendary engrams. You're getting so many exotic engrams that the difference doesn't... You feel different when you get it because it's like, boom, exotic pops up.
Right.
But then turning it in is like the same thing as turning in a legendary. So you never really have that feeling of when you opened the chest and got it.
Yeah.
It's kind of that story of like, do you remember when the Nightfall was kind of busted where you saw your rewards pop up on the screen before the end screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Seeing them pop up at the end screen, you see a little swirl and it's like boo, boo, boo. That was way more fulfilling than just being like, oh, I got
100%.
Knucklehead Radar.
And
yeah.
100%.
Exactly. So I think that even just if we got the drops from the wild and it was actually Orpheus Warrig dropped right there, then that would be way more exciting than taking it to turning an engram, right? Because you'd actually remember that, like I was doing this public event or I was doing this and it dropped, and you'd have more of a story.
Yeah, I remember thinking
that's a big part of it. I think.
I remember thinking when we first started up Destiny 1 back in the day, and we were coming from games like Diablo and Borderlands 2 and all that, and seeing engrams be like, oh, this is interesting. Why would they do this? Where they give us an engram, and then it started making sense where they didn't want to slow down the gameplay, so they put in an engram and you bring it back to Blueface and you get something that you don't want, and thus created the Blueface meme and the Rahul anger and hate and all that. And I just, after playing Destiny for nearly 4 years, I feel like it's not the best choice. Engrams are great as like a band-aid for loot, to be like, hey, you didn't get some actual drops, so let's give you something that you can take back to this guy that will officially give you a drop. But actually playing the game, like I've talked about this before, when you see the fire cannon show up from a captain, or when you're doing the public event, you see the cannon like spinning around, those look really cool. And I swear, if a tractor cannon popped out or Orpheus rigs popped out and it was glowing and spinning on the ground when light, that would
I like that a lot.
Burn so deep in my memory banks. I'd be like, let me tell you the time that I got this exotic. Oh Lord, And like you're still getting the same thing, right? At the end of the day, you're still getting that same drop, but the way that they deliver it to you makes such a big difference. It's from like to ooh, it's such a big difference. It burns it in your memory. You can remember that dropped where it did. It makes such a big difference. It does, yeah.
You're calling it out to your fire team. Your fire team remembers it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They're ribbing you because you got another Monte Carlo, or they're celebrating with you because you got a Hawthorne.
Exactly.
Or they're all pissed off at you just because you got a Vex Mythoclast.
Yeah,
like
in year one of Destiny, we had those experiences because the exotics would actually drop in the raid, and so it would tell oh, somebody got the last word. Holy crap, you got it from the chest? I can't believe it. This is
your first hard mode raid, and you got Mythoclast?
Yeah.
God damn it.
I feel like in that scenario for the raid, that makes complete sense. That I feel like
currently 7 p.m.
It's very dissatisfying to do prestige or do any part of the raid and then be like, great, I got a powerful legendary engram, or whatever it is. Like I think that's what it is for the prestige Nightfall. When you complete it, it gives you a powerful engram, but doesn't give you the gear piece.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yeah, same.
So I'm happy that they kept it to where when you walk up to that engram that's on the ground, you literally do get a piece of gear or tokens, but the tokens are a triangle. So they're different. But I think you nailed something on the head there for how quickly they want us consuming these public events and these more casual activities. Having you sit there and look at the loot before you move on would be quote unquote breaking the gameplay loop. I think your idea is still killer, though, at least for exotics. Just, if you do happen to do a public event and you get an exotic from it, if it decrypted right there and was just like, oh, look, it's the Orpheus Rex, and you just lose it and you pick it up and then everyone kind of stares at you being like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
It'd be great if it appeared on everybody else's screen, too.
Yeah.
They would see it. And I think right above it say, this belongs to Briar.
I think legendaries would be a bit much, but I think for exotics, that's a super killer idea.
Yeah.
I love it.
That would be really fun.
I want our exotics to feel exotic again. And right now, I don't think they do. We get them so often, and we get so many duplicates of these like mythical, magical things that we're like,
I'd posit it was the same way in post 3 of Coins world Destiny, though. Like I feel like the difference between now and then is that we no longer have to pop a 3 of Coins to get these exotics to drop. Yeah. It's a 4-hour fire team medallion versus going to my inventory, using a 3 of Coins, reset. So I prefer a pre-3 of Coins exotic world, and that's just me personally. And that is not casual friendly. I know people who are mad about it, but the good thing was that when you got an exotic, it really did, as we were talking about, it felt really special. I still remember there was a weekend back in year 1 where It was my birthday or something. I got drunk and I deleted my favorite shotgun because I don't think locking was the thing yet. And I lost my comedian, and I was so sad. And that weekend, I got a Hawkmoon, a Last Word, and a Yowlerhorn.
God damn.
In the same weekend.
Wow.
Sacrifice something and you get
It was
more.
exactly,
oh my God.
and that was like the joke. But I will always remember that because it was this really epic moment because they were so rare at the time.
Yeah.
You know? But now when it's like one of my favorite exotics in D1 was the Zen Meteor. So sorry, Xbox. But you know, but I couldn't tell you at all where I got it, and I think that's a shame.
Yeah,
I can tell you where I got that one.
Oh yeah.
It is a shame.
Oh no! Like I was trying to get the review out for that as soon as possible, and I had been like popping 3 coins all week. Just I burned through every single one that I had, and didn't get it. And then it was like the first time it was, what was the Mars map with the doors?
X's
That I
Black.
hated.
Shield.
Sorry.
Black Shield.
Yeah.
Oh.
Black Shield. My bad.
Yeah, I hated that. I hated that map. It took us 8 hours to go flawless.
That week was particularly
that
terrible.
week was rough, and then it was on the last run. We were finally like, you know what? Fuck it. We'll just go, and if we get there, we do it. If not, we're gonna stop. We're just not gonna play. And then we got flawless. Go to the lighthouse, and I was like, man, I really need Zen Meteor. I don't want to have to use someone else's account. Open it up, Zen Meteor, and like I had a literal confetti cannon there, and just popped it right when I got it, and like that moment.
Oh.
That's one of my
Those
favorite loot
moments.
Yeah.
We can't have a confetti cannon moment anymore. When are you gonna do the confetti cannon at Rahul? It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same at all. It's really not the same.
Even the Spire's not the same.
He doesn't deserve confetti.
Right, the Spire, yeah. Like I like the idea of the Spire where you go up depending on how many wins you've had. But it's kind of like it's not that grand opening of a chest. And what are you gonna get? What is it gonna be? It's just kind of like, oh, working my way up the Spire. Oh, pick a weapon, pick some armor.
I definitely.
I still like the
First
giant
time
lady.
going in
I think
there
that's
though, with the horse made out of stars.
Of
Yes.
course,
like
it
giant
looks
woman.
amazing. It
Yeah, I
looks
thought it was pretty
amazing.
cool.
But that's
It's
the thing,
really
if
though.
we're gonna talk about Trials, we gotta talk about how Trials changed to where you never got that experience after.
Oh, yeah.
I think was it Rise of Iron, where it was
Oh,
a shared
yeah.
space, and
Yes,
the box was
yes.
always
Yeah.
already.
Yeah,
That
that
was a
was a
mistake.
terrible idea.
Terrible idea. Yeah.
That was-
It's a
not-
box of oil. Great,
See,
thanks, game.
Your guys' reaction to Trials, though, I feel like that's a lot of how Destiny is for a lot of people. Like, great first time experience and impression, but it's not like grindy. I mean, it's not worth grinding. You know, like getting that
The
place
pursuits
again.
aren't-
The pursuits aren't there for you to want to grind that, and that's why, like, yeah, it's great to look at the first time, but that experience that Holtz is explaining just doesn't exist in the game right now.
For the most part,
especially when an extremely large portion of said loot all comes from going to the Cryptarch and
Or
doing that
turning
there.
in tokens.
We said this in a podcast like 6 months ago about how turning stuff into Rahul just is not exciting and not a fun experience for your loot memory. Like you like to have recollection. Like I've got memories of when I got certain pieces of Borderlands 2 gear that I was like, oh my God, a real crazy world drop. And I'm like, this, that doesn't exist in Destiny 2, unfortunately.
I can
So-
probably tell you
It's really
80% of my vanilla exotics. Like Destiny 1 vanilla exotic. I can probably tell you exactly what activity and who I was with.
For most of the exotics, I have a story about it. Like, I even miss exotics potentially dropping at the end of Crucible matches. Like, Crucible match ends and it's like, blah, blah, got Gallahorn. You're like, what?
Or even
I
better when
miss
they get
that.
No Land Beyond, and you're like, way to go, nerd.
Yeah, or like it pops up Universal Remote when no one was even thinking that was a weapon. But it's those situations don't exist. I miss them so much. I remember getting Hardlight, which was my first exotic in Destiny 1, and I was like, I'm going to take this into the Crucible. I just got it in the Crucible. Let's use it in a game. And the next map that we played on was First Light, using Hardlight. Very challenging. very, very bad, but I remember it deeply. I will never forget that. I have a very fond memory of it.
Okay, well, I'm glad that question could start some sort of discussion there, because that's one of the big things that for this being a game that's so heavily based in loot, you don't have a lot of memories of getting some of the loot that you use the most.
Yeah.
So
Well,
And I will say that. Sorry, I know that they're trying to make it more friendly for people who don't have tons of hours and hours to play. But I think that Destiny, at the core of its game, is amazing when you have pursuits like that to go after. Because you have to think, like, why are people wanting to play Destiny over Call of Duty or Halo or PUBG? Like, why are people like, that's a game I want to play?
Yep.
It's not just a shooter. It is about the loot. It's about RPG elements. And I think that's what draws people to Destiny. So the more of that they have, I think the more successful Destiny will be.
I agree. Yeah.
I can tell you how I got my Future War Cult gear and my New Monarchy gear. Basically, there's this beautiful area of the European Dead Zone, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lost
yes,
sector
yes.
in the European
Feels
Dead
like
Zone.
a
You
Pirate's
go into
Cove.
that lost sector. Yeah, I think they call it the Weep. You go through this door, beautiful brass door, really gorgeous door. You pick up the chest, and then you run through the door, and then you turn around and you go get the chest again, and then you do that around, I don't know, 100, 140 times. Oh, beautiful gear I got out of that.
That reminds,
Memories that last a lifetime.
That reminds me a lot of holding down the X button to buy heavy ammo. Interesting.
That's
Oh
a good point.
boy.
You guys partake a little bit in the cheese this
I
week?
streamed that shit for about 10 hours.
10 hours?
Shopping
Are you serious?
network, man. It's a real thing.
I did about a 6-hour stream of doing it all on console because, you know, it only takes about an hour and a half to get 600 tokens if you're just going back and forth and only doing that. But then you got to take in time to go get the loot because that's the real payoff, getting the loot. And then, you know, New Monarchy, not each one not giving you the one thing that you wanted.
Which was?
There's the one thing that I wanted. We'll just leave it at that from every single one. And then going like, oh, I'm glad I got 10 Dire Promises. It's a great gun, but, you know, really would have liked that auto rifle too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dead Orbit.
I think Smart Loot might be one of the systems that got lost between the transition.
Smart
of
Loot
Destiny 1
got
and
very,
Destiny
very
2.
lost.
Or broke. Maybe it's in there and it's smartly giving you the same thing over and over.
It's like, oh, I see you got Fighting Lion. It appears that you like that weapon. We're going to keep giving it to
Yeah.
you.
Your playtime of
Dire
Fighting Lion
Promise
is
is
very
fun.
low. We better give you another one to remind you to use it.
Oh, they might have deleted it. Oh, we got to make sure they keep having it, man.
You need backups. You need one for
Maybe they
each
don't know
character.
collections exist. We got to help them out.
You want the ornament for it? We got the ornament too.
They were trying to say, hey, dual wielding is going to come into the game, and you're going to want to have 2 of these things on each character. All right,
Yeah.
How do I reload?
How do you both hands?
Just reaper it, throw them away, and then
There you go.
bring it to the ones. 'Cause
I
you
have
got-
that many.
Yeah, I have that many. Just keep them all reloaded at all times.
It's hilarious. Oh, my God.
Man.
Yeah, I did 15 minutes off stream and then I stopped because I was like, this is what am I doing? I couldn't handle it. And I couldn't stream it because something like that, I have to be watching something else. You know, since I was streaming, I couldn't pull up another stream and be like, guys, I'm going to watch this stream.
Guys, I'm
Well,
watching
part of
this.
T-Rex, you actually rated me while I was doing it.
Hey.
Hey. So yeah, hey, we were having a fun time. I was trying to keep that stream actually interesting.
Oh, that's what
I was
counts.
just trying to
Yeah.
quad dip. I was just trying to quad dip for the tokens and the exotics.
I
So,
bet.
I mean, that's why you hit that chest because it's like a 200 dip.
I feel like the high of getting the quad dip must have like just it permeated through the rest of that. You know, just like trying to go for it. You know,
That's all I wanted to do.
yeah. I'm
All I
jealous.
wanted. I didn't want to do anything
I'm
else.
100% jealous. I want it.
Reading through the update, that's a fantastic.
The
Actually, before we go into the TWAB, is there
Okay.
any specific weapons that the? Oh, actually, did you guys get a chance to use the Future War Cult Pulse that was on offer
Yes.
before and now included in the loot pool? Which we didn't talk about that, which I thought was a little
Oh, the
strange.
Dragonfly, yeah.
Yeah. Did you use the
I
weapon?
used it on PC.
Mhm.
a little.
I have it. I have not used it yet, though. But I did get it.
I used it on PC a little bit. A lot of people in chat were saying that on console the stability is like so awful that you just can't even use it. For a fast fire rate pulse, it was really hard to deal with.
Okay.
But on PC it doesn't matter because it doesn't exist.
Hey,
So
mouse aim.
it felt pretty good. It felt pretty good for like a medium longish range weapon to couple with a hand cannon or something. Like it was good, especially as it's an energy weapon, right?
Yeah.
So you can use Better Devils, you can use Dire Promise, and you can use that. So yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah. I want it.
But I only used it once. So
Okay.
it could be terrible.
Briar, about 2 weeks ago, you were talking about how, man, having the PC meta with the console meta, like or the sandbox, like how man, weapons feel really good on PC and on console. It's like this. No, Yeah, I'm gonna have to just wholeheartedly agree with you now because I got the Dead Orbit SMG, the 900 rate of fire
the kinetic one. Yeah.
The kinetic one. It's good when you're using mouse and keyboard. That thing is deadly.
Yeah,
PvE,
I like it.
PvP, has high cal, like fantastic weapon. And then I plugged in the controller just to see what it would almost feel like on console.
Yep.
Pulled the trigger and that thing went into the ceiling.
By the way,
Now
that
it's like-
was me who pointed that out.
Yeah, that was also you. I will concede to that. Yes, plugging in a controller and using a controller is different. I was using weapons like Uriel's, which you can't really tell.
Yeah, they're already
I guess.
pretty stable with the controller.
They're very stable. But once you use high recoil weapons like max rate of fire SMGs, man, yeah, it sucks because that weapon went from usable with a mouse and keyboard to unusable with and it's entirely vertical recoil.
Yeah.
It's like, man,
That is weird how they're doing that. I really hope they do find some sort of happy ground to merge that. But
yeah,
I don't want them to merge it. I just want them to take what they got on PC and move it over to console. I don't want any merging.
some weapons
I
are
don't want 'em to
still
touch.
just unusable with the controller, though, even on PC.
Yeah, but I mean, at least hand cannons are usable in both places. Like you can easily use a hand cannon with a controller on PC.
Happy compromise.
You know, like I don't want them to touch that. You know, just get rid of Bloom. Hey, you know,
We
it was
don't
a bad
need
idea
Bloom.
2 years
We
ago.
don't
It's still a
want
bad
it.
idea. Let's get rid of it.
I don't want it. Do you want it? Does anyone genuinely say, you know what I
Nobody
want on my
wants
gun?
Bloom.
I want me some Bloom. I want to shoot stuff and have it not go where I shall.
I like
I want
flipping
Bloom
bullets.
on my Voidwalker.
There's-
That is it.
Bungie has a long history of Bloom. They were adamant about being in the DMR in Halo Reach, never removed it. Once they moved away from Halo Reach, 343 took out Bloom on the DMR, and people were way happier. So I don't think they're ever
I don't
going
get
to.
it.
They don't
just
want
love
people
Bloom.
to be happy when it comes to Bloom. They want Bloom in there. Sucks.
It's not
They
even.
want
It's not
anger.
even light Bloom though. It's like really aggressive
it's
Bloom.
severe.
Yeah.
I would love to, in a very honest conversation though, like because I'm assuming that they have some reason. I would like to have an honest conversation with like the person who is maybe top of that food chain for why that is not changing.
Yeah.
So I'd be very
No,
curious. Like maybe there's like the greatest reason ever that I just don't know. But of course, I have no way of knowing unless there's a conversation.
My bet is probably going to go back to the same reason why they reduced inner accuracy, and it was to kind of lessen the skill gap overall. Where if weapons like hand cannons are capable of you just popping in and out of cover and just 1, 2, 3, 4-ing someone with very good accuracy, that's going to be very hard for someone that may not have a ton of skill to combat because they don't know what's happening. They haven't invested the time to actually learn how to combat it themselves.
I would say that philosophy kind of makes sense a little bit in Destiny 1 with how powerful each Guardian was. Because you had so many other things in your skill set that didn't revolve around the weapons you carried with you.
Right.
But now with Destiny 2, with time to kill being a bit higher, and working together as a team feeling pretty mandatory in some situations to where you can't always be like, all right, even with a flank, 1v3 flank, I can't kill the first guy fast enough before all of them flip around and just mow me down.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that, if that was their reasoning, I would say that reasoning is now flawed in the way Destiny 2 physically operates, especially in the Crucible.
Yeah.
I think people would have a lot more fun in the Crucible as well if you could maybe kill people a little bit more accurately like that, because the biggest complaint I see is just all the team shooting, and there's no way to get in 1v1 engagements really that much anymore, and there's no hero moments. They don't happen as much anymore because you can't quickly kill a guy and then turn around and kill the other guy because my health is just not coming back. Doesn't exist. My health's always low. I can't kill someone fast enough like by using like outskilling someone or outplaying someone because of the bloom or inner accuracy or whatever it might be. So I don't know. I feel like people might be a little bit happier if you were able to kill people a bit more accurately with your hand cannon because you could flank, you could take down that guy before the whole team comes. and
I can tell you that I'm
stomps
having
all
more
over
fun
you.
on PC.
Yeah,
Like
same.
that's just it. When I play the Crucible on PC, it's just more fun because when I
You can
fire a
use
weapon,
more
the
stuff.
bullet goes where my reticle was.
If I miss a shot,
it's my fault.
I missed.
Yeah.
Have you hip fired some of have you hip fired The Last Hope on PC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't move.
You
You don't even need to aim with that weapon.
Bananas.
Even hand cannons, like I can just hip fire them at
Yeah.
range. Like on
You
console,
can get headshots from ridiculous ranges with hip-firing on the hand cannon.
Yeah,
Feels like McCree, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. On console, like I've conditioned myself when I'm playing Destiny, you always have to aim down sights in basically every single situation because otherwise it's just not accurate unless you're using a shotgun. And then now in Destiny 2 on PC, because you're so accurate from both hipfire and aim on sights, like, well, I might as well hipfire because then I can see more. I'm not reducing my field of view at all.
Or taking away your radar.
Yeah, exactly. Just hipfire constantly. I don't need the third eye perk on Mida. I just hipfire.
Yeah, I've been really trying to break the habit because I've the first week heavily ADSing all the time with hand cans and being like, what am I doing? And then trying to break that habit has been difficult because there's like a sweet spot for where that hipfire is really, really accurate on PC. And there's also an inverse to it as well. As people get closer, I find it's a little more difficult. Like that close quarter combat with the mouse, even though your aim is more flexible, when they're close, like if you use Last Hope in close quarter with a mouse, I find it's a higher skill gap because
I overcorrect.
Yeah,
real
so
bad.
easy to overcorrect. Yeah.
Not ADSing helps a lot.
It does. Yeah. But,
and you're also harder to hit when you're not ADSing because you're strafing back and forth faster.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, close range.
And I can mash my control key over and over and over. You know who you are in the Crucible.
Is that actually effective?
I think it is.
Is it?
To be honest with you. I miss a lot of
weapon.
headshots because it goes right over their head.
Like I guess like an auto rifle, like no, you're gonna get hit pretty much the exact same amount and the exact same amount of precision shots because it's very easy just follow it. But yeah, like if they crouch at the right time, right when you're about to fire, like with like a hand cannon, it could be effective. But I think it depends on the weapon for the most part.
If they're going for precision shots, yes. So I think at the higher, like medium to higher skill placements, you can have a tactical crouch and have it be effective sometimes. Not in every engagement, but you have to use it sparingly. In the lower skill brackets, like that. Most people are actually probably even less because most people are going to be going for like body shots and not headshots. And then if you crouch, you have now made
you've made
yourself a headshot.
That or they just see somebody and like before they even start firing, they're just like turn around the corner. Having an aneurysm.
That's the thing. When I'm running around with just an SMG, there was one lobby where a bunch of people were teabag shooting, and I was like, I'm not going for headshots, dude. I'm just spamming you in the body with my SMG. It's not going to work. If anything, you're making me kill you faster.
I love getting kill clip on the antelope.
It's so good.
Oh,
that's when I feel like it's D1 again, and I can take on a bunch of people no matter how low I am. I think
it's 26 to the head with kill clip up.
It's so good.
Which is it's absurdly good.
I love that gun so much. Like it feels obviously even better on PC, and the range on it. I'm always surprised at times where I'm like, really 20 to the head that far away? Jesus.
I love those the 600 RPM subs are definitely my go-to. I can't really get behind the 900s. I think my brother loves. I think it's the is it the
Death Adder?
What are they called?
Mob Justice.
The Peacekeepers? No, Peacekeepers, one of the auto-load subs.
Yeah.
He loves running double subs with like the 900 RPMs and just being like, just running around being like, swaps, other hand, just mows people down.
He's right, honestly, because it's that is very viable on PC just because you can actually aim SMGs and you can close that gap real quick.
Yeah.
There's a cat walking.
He calls it being RoboCop, which I feel like is inaccurate, but more power to him.
RoboCop? Huh. I feel like if you could do
RoboCop had SMGs.
If you could do double Last Hopes, that would be like RoboCop.
Right? Or a pistol, but didn't it auto fire? Like, wasn't it automatic fire pistol?
It was a burst fire.
Yeah,
burst fire.
I think with Judge Dredd, that was like the one that was capable of everything.
Oh
yeah. Yep.
What other faction weapons are you guys really enjoying?
Number's still good for.
I still need to get the number. Still need that on PC.
I've been trying out the Future War Cult SMG.
Yeah,
it's not
I
bad.
just got that today and I haven't.
Not bad at all.
Put phase mag on it, and it's
that turns it into a 600 RPM.
It does.
So
makes it to 600. Yep.
Makes it good.
Nice. Okay, so one thing that I was a little like, what? I can't believe they're doing this. Is that they put last faction's winner weapons into the pool. this time around? And do you think they're going to, first off, do you think they're going to continue down that path? And if they are, then I feel like the winning loot is a lot less special. Personally.
Yeah.
I was
sure.
actually really hoping that the winning faction weapon was going to be an exotic faction weapon. So it was just a unique thing that you could only get if the faction won. I understand why they're doing it like this, because if Dead Orbit wins every single time, we're never going to get a handful of weapons, which would be a shame.
Well, you know what they could do though? At the end of seasons, they could have like they could have like, during the clarion call, be like, okay, all weapons are dropping now, so you could collect them at the end of the season. But having them show up at the beginning of every faction rally, it was just, I was like, oh well, I guess I'm gonna get that sword then next month. You know,
right?
What if we changed up a little bit, because meet in the middle. So instead of making it like an exotic weapon, kind of like adept weapons from Age of Triumph.
Nice. I like that.
Or alternatively, you gave them like exotic, like just like fun ornaments for each of the guns if it wins before it goes, free for all. That way, it's like my faction won. I got this cool thing, and it shows off that you played during that era, which is kind of what they're going for. It seems like, especially with the future of Iron Banner, to where if they're gonna have an ornament for each season for Iron Banner that shows off that you were there, they could do a similar thing with Faction Rally for the armor and even the winning faction weapons.
Yeah.
If they really wanted to.
Yeah. I like that a lot. I mean, if they're going to keep on bringing back these weapons next month is going to be a new season, so we may never see these winning.
All bets are off.
Yeah. We may never see these weapons again. But if they're going to continue that trend where every month is a faction rally, and then those weapons that weren't winners get put in the loophole, I like your idea better of it being adept or ornament based.
Adept would be cool.
Yeah.
Because then like the winner is the adept version, then maybe it goes in the loot pool, but it's not adept. So the winner has something special at least.
Yeah. Basically everybody's going to go from hobo to hobo chic with their Dead Orbit winnings constantly.
Hey.
You know?
Listen, I'm just an edgelord, okay? Me and Peter Stormare are BFFs.
Are you Dead Orbit, T?
I'm everything, because I want all the shaders. So
Exactly.
Okay, but if you got to pick, who are you going to be?
If I had to pick, honestly, I really don't know. Because I feel like I don't love the shaders as much as I love them in Destiny 1. Because I feel like there's a lot of extra stuff in a lot of the shaders that I'm not the biggest fan of, where it's like a random extra color, and I'm like, why is there a purple in this all of a sudden? But if I had to choose, since Destiny 1 on my original Warlock, I've been Dead Orbit. I had hundreds upon hundreds of ranks in Dead Orbit.
So edgy.
Dead Orbit till I'm dead, man.
So
here's a
damn
counter
edgy,
argument
my God.
for currently being Future War Cult.
Please.
Season
War
2,
Cult.
the Future War Cult shaders are totally changing. The
Once again,
red,
that's
blue,
why I have
and
3
yellow.
characters.
The red, blue, and yellow is going to be gone. Potentially forever. They're going to have this like icy blue, white.
I like
forever?
the
Wow.
white and blue one that they have right now. That one's pretty solid. At least they got rid of like the burnt brown color on some of their stuff that they had in D1.
Yeah, that was kind of lame.
It wasn't very attractive. I was actually very surprised when I tried the Future War Cult shader, and I was like, actually, it doesn't look disgusting.
Yeah,
This
they're
is great.
really good, actually. A lot of people are like, I don't want to look like a clown. I'm like, did you preview? You do not look like a clown with those. Go ahead and preview, and then you can check the clown thing.
Instead, you could look like you went to freaking Gucci with your mom's credit card and showed up with red and gold everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. It is nice. Red and gold weapons, looking nice.
Yep.
If you want to, oh my goodness, if you want to look. So we were talking also earlier about just the rating in general, and I was lucky on my first prestige raid on my Titan. I got 3 of the 5 pieces. So I have the chest, feet, and the class item, the towel, the dong towel. And I put on the Callus's selected shader on my arms and helmet, and oh my god, do you just look like people are gonna turn heads. I joke about gaudiness for a new monarchy. This is above and beyond absurdity. Yeah. It's so bright. It's
interesting.
So bright.
Opulent, trying to bring attention.
Unfortunately, it's mobility for hunters, so
it's mobility for Titans too.
Oh,
Feels good, man.
I hope that changes in season 2.
It'd be nice if we were able to maybe later down the line, if they expand mods, be able to change mobility to survival and survival to,
that would be amazing.
The resistance and all kind of stuff. That way you could, if the goal is truly to wear what you want and to have your armor matter less, then go the full Monty. Allow us to drastically
100%.
change it. 100%. Because right now, the goal was to make sure that intelligence, discipline, and strength didn't matter, and instead they made other things matter. So at that point, you basically have the same problem with intis and strength, just on different gear with different stats.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're hidden stats, more or less.
Like, if they're going to go down the path of locked rolls for weapons, that's one thing, and then they just have to adjust accordingly to allow there to be a bigger loop pool and all that. But when it comes to armor, I don't think there's any real good reason for them to lock the armor stats. So, IO gear is always recovery for hunters and all that. Like, why not just let it randomly roll for armor? It's only 3 of those, and they're clearly affecting what you're going to choose to wear heavily, because recovery is so important. So if you're a hunter, you're essentially losing a huge portion of options for your fashion game.
Oh yeah,
right.
There's 3 armor pieces that you can wear right now. It's not many.
And the funny thing about that is like, it comes back to where we have like the illusion of choice again, to where, yes, I can use whatever I want, but if I want my hunter not to, download an ebook and then read it while they're recovering, I need to make sure to have a couple pieces. You know? To where, yes, you can use whatever you want, but you are seriously hampering yourself if you choose to wear something specific.
Yep.
And warlocks are kind of they're in the lucky spot to where, because they get the 4 bonus recovery just for being warlocks, they have a lot more options available. But Titans and Hunters have a lot of not options for the most part. Yeah. Hunters especially.
Yeah, Hunters are the big one, honestly. They get shafted pretty hard in that. Just too bad. Again, I just don't understand why lock the gear like that with just these 3 rotating options.
I don't know.
Which
is why I hope in the future that they really do expand the mod system. Because I feel like it's going to be a hard fought thing for us to convince Bungie to retrofit the entire system, to take away mods and replace them with the old perk system. So instead, we could have the middle ground of basically merging the old perk system with what mods are right now.
Yeah.
So that way you have a static better devils, and then maybe you can add more stability on it. Maybe you can add more handling or whatever it is that it's lacking to make it a gun that you like. And then also, there's been some, I don't know if you guys have seen it, there's been some really cool concepts of evolving weaponry for duplicates. They've been really interesting that I've read about. A lot of cool different concepts. So I like to see stuff like that too.
Same. I would love that.
If you can't, you can't change the base gameplay and what we're getting rewarded with, then let's try to solve with a different solution entirely. That we accept that, okay, if we're going to get duplicates, let's make duplicates amazing. In some way, shape, or form.
They said they were going to do that somehow, and they never really followed through.
That's why it's surprising too.
Yeah.
Well, they said it wasn't going to be ready for launch. So fingers crossed that they have been working on it, and that maybe even this DLC. Like, I don't expect it to come with this DLC, but man, if they did, so you could start evolving a better devils into something else, or some extensive version.
The best devils
and the ultra devils and the mega ultra better devils.
Diablo just shows up.
Every time you fire, Diablo breathes fire on your opponent.
How we get a pet like little mini chibi devil,
but only against minions of the darkness. So it's balanced.
There you go.
Oh, have we? So we were before we got derailed. I think we were trying to talk about the TWAB, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
TWAB.
Yeah.
No,
There's
stop it.
TWAB.
He's not here this week. It's TWAB.
Someone's got to add a little poke in here.
No,
the
we really
TWAB
don't.
This week.
We really don't.
There's some really big news in here, actually.
Yeah.
It's subtle, but it's actually pretty interesting. On December 5th, they're going to launch Curse of Osiris Season 2. With that, they'll be deploying an update for Destiny 2 that will deliver HDR for the new consoles, the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X. And also on that day, you'll get a 4K resolution option for the Xbox One X. So, and it's native 4K. It's not a adaptive 4K.
Nice.
And
that's great.
The Pro gets the adaptive 4K, I think.
Right. The PlayStation 4 Pro gets the adaptive 4K, and the Xbox One X gets a native 4K.
Are you telling me that the best place on console to visually experience all the pixels on Destiny 2 is going to be on the Xbox One X?
It's got the best
pixels anywhere, baby. 6 teraflops. You got Chief. You got Mark's Phoenix. You got the 4K.
You got Master Chief.
If you got an expensive TV, the Xbox One X has your name written all over it.
Get it.
That's crazy. I mean, HDR and native 4K. That's gonna look really nice.
I mean, that's
it still runs at 30, which is kind of a bummer.
It's definitely nice. It's not like an afterthought. They actually were planning on it. It just had to take time to get delivered.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't bought the Xbox One X yet. I'll probably buy it next year sometime, but for now, I'm gonna wait.
I'm sure I will end up finding a reason to buy it eventually, like I do with most consoles.
Same.
It just takes time.
Yep.
It's hard to justify if you already own a PC because all the games that are coming out,
exactly.
All the Xbox games are also coming out for Windows. So, and that's that's something that Microsoft is doing intentionally, and it just makes it so that if you have a PC, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to also own an Xbox unless you want to kind of double up in your living room or something. But then you can get like a Steam box or something.
Well, that's
for your
the
living
thing.
room.
Like, and you can plug in your controller. So like, even if you prefer a controller, you can still use your PC to play like most of those games with a controller. So.
Yeah, I bought a little Steam box for I think it was $20 or $30 on sale on Steam, and you plug it into your TV, you run a network cable to it, and it just plays games off your PC, runs them through your network, runs all the graphics,
it's like
all the video.
All right, that's neat.
It looks
then
great.
You got couch gaming right there with your PC.
Gaming right there with the controller. It's really nice.
Yeah, Steam is really slick. In case people haven't seen it, like Steam acts like an actual console system, so you can use your controller to navigate and launch games and all that. It's nice.
Yeah, and you can add.
You can continue to not play most of your games on Steam.
Exactly. You can let that library build, buy more on Steam, and be like, one of these days,
You can add games that you didn't buy in Steam to your Steam library too, so you can play like Destiny through Steam doing this.
Destiny 2 from Blizzard.
That's cool.
Destiny
so you can be on your couch with the 60 FPS plus.
Will that actually work? I
believe it does.
Will Battle.net allow that?
Was that Gary? One of my friends did try it out, and
okay, awesome. Work. I just didn't know because I know that there was an issue at launch where if you launched Destiny 2 from your desktop, it would crash out after 20 minutes or something like that.
Interesting.
For your desktop?
It would error out if you didn't launch directly from Battle.net. So I was curious if that was
really?
still
I use a little shortcut all the time.
I don't know. I remember seeing it was on Bungie. It was on BungieNet for known issues or something. I thought.
Interesting.
Maybe it was in the most recent patch. They fixed it. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe you know what? I could also be talking out of my ass completely, 100%.
It's okay. It's all good.
They also talk more about the Clarion Call. That's going to start on November 17th. It'll be all weekend long. So originally, I thought this was going to be a 2-week event.
That's what I thought too.
I didn't think it was weekend, but I guess they're doing double XP weekend.
That's exactly what I thought.
So this will be an opportunity to earn double XP for everything you do with a fellow clan member in your fire team. So you have to be with a clan member to activate this. If you're in a clan, this would be a perfect time to join one. For some reason, I thought this was going to be a 2-week thing.
That's
the last 2 weeks of the DLC.
Yeah.
Does that also apply to new characters too?
I hope so.
If you wanted to make an alt, that'd be a good weekend to do it.
That is a good. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, I think it's probably account based.
You gotta have a clan member to run through it with you.
Oh, right. It only activates if you're in a clan. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's interesting. You know what it was? I think it was when it was the TwitchCon. They were saying that some of these details weren't locked in, but they're saying the last couple weeks, Clarion calls were coming in. So maybe they decided to make them double XP weekends.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a language thing. The Clarion Call is coming sometime in the last couple of weeks as opposed to being the last couple of weeks.
That could have been too.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. We glossed over the or did you say it yet? The reset time?
No, that was going to be at the end.
Oh, my bad.
The last thing they mentioned. But I mean, it is pretty important. They're resetting the reset. They're actually changing. Google Chrome locked up on me, so I can't actually read this anymore. Nice. But they're resetting the reset time. So it's going to be at 9 a.m. Pacific time?
9 a.m. Pacific is the new official reset.
So currently it's 1 a.m. It is moving to 9 a.m. Pacific. That's 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. over in the UK. So if you are someone...
Suck it, UK YouTubers!
Damn.
So if you're someone who doesn't want to wait up till 1 a.m. for Zera, you can get up at 9 a.m.
I am someone like that.
What if you're
but now we
someone
have Tefty on the other side of the
through 9 a.m.? It's like the middle of the night for me.
I don't care. They're doing Xur videos for 3
I am so
fucking
happy.
years.
I'm gonna do my Xur video with like my lunch sitting in front of me.
Oh,
A nice tuna sandwich, cold glass of milk.
my sleep schedule is no longer fucked.
So
great.
The future of Destiny content is going to be 9 a.m. resets now.
Man, it sucks for all the people in Australia?
Yep.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
So does that mean that the content launches will be an hour earlier than they used to be?
I
They used
think
to launch
so.
at 10 a.m. Pacific. Are they going to be at 9 a.m. now?
I think just all content in general when they want to release stuff is going to be like at the reset, which is 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Which makes
Because
sense.
that way
It's
they'll have
kind of
folks in the
streamlined
studio.
it all.
Yep.
Do the reset when people are actually in the office. Makes sense.
Hmm.
How
So
many
somebody's
times have we
messed
seen
up,
over the last
they-
Someone doesn't get a rude
Right,
phone
exactly.
call being like, "Hey,
How many times over the last 3 years have we seen something's messed up at reset and they've got to like rush to fix it real quick?
Yeah.
like Trials being active for some reason."
or the Nightfall being completely bugged and unable to be completed.
Broken. Yeah.
Yeah. But to be fair, they just didn't fix that for like 2
Yeah, they
years.
just didn't do that.
Yeah. It's a little weird that they just didn't do this for Destiny 2 launch. Like I assumed that they were going to change the reset time for Destiny 2.
I did too.
And then they just didn't. And I was like, okay, well, I guess it's, the next 3 years. And now it's like during a DLC, like, you know what?
Wait.
I think it's time we change this. It's been a little too long.
Maybe they wanted to see how PC reacted or something like that. I don't know.
Oh,
But I
that's
agree.
possible. Yeah. That's
What
a good point.
time is like 9 a.m. Pacific in the UK?
5
Europe?
5 p.m. I think.
Damn it. It's still a
No,
convenient
it's
time
still
for
good
them.
for them. That's still a good time.
Damn it.
That's actually even better. I would prefer 5 p.m. over 9
Is this
a.m.
like a conspiracy theory where Bive got them to change it so, it's convenient for him, guys?
He can sleep
I
in.
think this is what's going on here, guys. Yep.
I just want them to suffer for a little bit. Just like we've had to.
Oh man, for me, I've just been so used to being able to stream through reset, and now it's not going to be a thing. I'm going to be like, I'm going to end my stream and be like, bye Destiny World. Tomorrow when I wake up, you're going to be different.
You just got to stream
Why?
longer.
You
Did
just
you,
got
power
to
through it,
through
Destiny
9
power
a.m.
So
Oh,
topically, did you see Datto's most recent tweet as of like 10 seconds ago?
No.
All caps. Resets at 9 a.m. Pacific. This is the best news I've heard in my life. I'm free of the curse. Hello to a pro sleep schedule. Thank you. It was all caps, so I had to.
Oh,
That's
it's
good.
good. I get
Understandable.
it.
Excellent
That's okay.
reenactment. Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure that everyone at home
Yeah.
understood that there was reasoning behind the shouting.
Yes.
Oh.
Other people know my pain.
Oh, man.
They also talked about guided games a little bit this week.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah, a
making some
little bit.
changes to guided games with the Curse of Osiris on December 5th. They're adding an audio cue that you know when you found a guide. Full clans can now guide. Added
Thank God.
reminders
That's
that if
good.
you reject a clan, you're still at the front of the line. So you can pick guides with a mission statement that looks appealing without getting pushed to the back of a line.
Good.
Guided games will support the new Nightfall and raid content you'll find in Curse of Osiris. They use raid content again.
What
and
does
you'll learn
it mean?
more about
Good.
that next week
Next-
on our first live stream.
About the raid content, eh?
Mm.
Interesting.
Do you think they're just going to put a raid in? Be like, okay,
Just be like,
boom, raid.
Boom! It's just
I
it's
don't
gonna be
know.
it's gonna be a one room raid. It's just in the lighthouse. And you have to it's a little tiny
wanna
lighthouse raid.
It's gonna be raid con. It's one more boss fight in Leviathan, except you actually fight
It's optional.
Callus, and it's a giant sumo wrestling ring, and he just
Oh.
shows up like lather, and he's like, "All right, come to me." You just gotta knock him out somehow. It's
Dig
a perfect
it.
Destiny raid. You gotta knock him out of the arena. Perfect.
Oh,
That is
you
done.
got to
No,
boop
no,
them.
no.
You're gonna need
Boot
your tractor
cannon.
cannon,
Yeah.
Tefty. You better start
Exactly.
grinding. You're gonna
Gotta
need
grind.
that.
Gotta bring your solar grenades from Destiny 1, man. Gotta
Coil, Solanades, boop cannon.
Callus is going to be all oiled up, and you have to catch him. That's the raid.
catch the greased up
Yeah.
Callus. The best raid.
That sounds really fun. Not
I wonder what that raid gear's like. Do you just remove
You're
clothes?
just naked and
the
oil.
raid gear is
Oily.
just-
A bathrobe.
An emote.
The
Emote
Emperor's
is you
new
actually
clothes,
oil
everybody.
yourself with an emote. You know?
Oh my gosh. I want all of this.
Yeah.
They also responded to some other things the community have been talking about. They talked a little bit about checkpoints in guided games. They talked about clan chat, which is big, and they actually said that it's one of their highest priorities to get it in the game as soon as possible.
That's
Great.
They want to do improvements to chat functionality, and they talk about the emote wheel a little bit.
It's great.
They want it. They want all of these things, and hopefully they come soon.
Yeah.
Basically.
Right. Yeah. No dates or no timetable, but they are. It's
the important thing is people can't say that Bungie is not listening or that it's a conspiracy to not have chat. They're
It's ignorant to say that Bungie's not listening. Bungie's been listening since day one of Destiny. I mean, look how many things that we've gotten that we've directly asked for. People wanted Sparrow Racing, they gave it to us. People wanted
private matches. They gave us private matches.
They gave it to us.
They wanted all the raids to come back.
They took it away.
We wanted all the raids to come back. Boom, they gave us.
It's amazing how many things that they've given us that we've asked for.
It may not be in a timely manner that we all want, because who doesn't want to have all the stuff happen immediately? But there's between I want it now versus I'm never going to get it. There's a drastic difference there.
And people also have to temper their expectations with the fact that they have probably at least 3 to 5 years of development scheduled in their future for how they're going to take the franchise. And additions like this most likely, take up a lot of that time as well. So they have to balance all that stuff of making new content for the game that we have no ideas about, and also helping change the current atmosphere. So it's
Can you imagine looking at that calendar and not having a panic attack? Just being like, oh. Just have a nurse on staff in front of the calendar, just that way, in case it just passes out right in front of it.
That's next month. Jesus, we got it. Oh God.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
God, I wish I knew what that feeling was like.
Shipping a game is hard.
Yeah.
It is difficult. Like many people say who ship games, it's a miracle that any games ever get shipped ever.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, my 8-bit game that I made in 8-bit Game Simulator went perfect. Sold one copy to my parents. Platinum.
I am now a professional game designer, and I will be on Reddit shortly.
I've watched the
Just
indie game
wait,
movie,
I gotta get my wrist guards on first.
Oh man.
Anything else we want to go over before we do Twitter questions?
I don't think so.
Cold Stone was having a thing where you can get free Cold Stone if you have a beard today.
Oh, fuck, are you serious? There's what?
It's a little late to tell us,
it closes at 9:30, Pat. We're on the same time. I know.
That
It
was
sucks for
15 minutes
you.
ago for me.
Sucks for you guys, but us on the West Coast, we could finish the podcast and go have free ice
Be able
cream.
to hit that up.
I'm just gonna go spend money on ice cream, and then
It's not enough time for me to grow a beard and get to Cold Stone. So.
it's got hair on the bottom part.
Thank you for the tweet. I can't remember who tweeted me that, but they're like, Cold Stone, free ice cream if you have a beard right now.
I'm trying to see if there is one close by because traffic's a bitch. Oh my God, it is. I know where this is.
Pat, tell us about something you like.
Cold Stone ice cream is a fantastic institution. They sing to you. You get the.
They sing?
You get. I thought they did.
No, they don't sing. I've never been
Do
sung.
you have any recordings that perhaps you could listen?
Yeah, exactly. And if you wanna go to Cold Stone and also get some ice cream but capture some wonderful vocals, you'll need some of these wild mics and headphones, because no doubt you noticed the wild mics and headphones that we're using. It's just some of the iconic gear that Blue creates. Blue's award-winning products are the driving force behind professional musicians, internet creators, and countless elite gaming teams and Twitch streamers. Their Yeti USB mic is the internet's most popular microphone, and their Sadie and Lola headphones deliver insane sound and a very personalized fit. Blue offers everything you need to completely immerse yourself in the ultimate gameplay experience, and also Cold Stone memory reliving.
Apparently,
BlueMic.com.
Apparently, if you tip, they sing for you. I didn't know this. I had no idea.
Yeah, there you go. Apparently
I never tip.
Oh my God!
I could have swore I threw a buck down and nobody ever sang for me.
I completely forgot that you guys were sponsored by Blue, and for a moment I was like, "What the hell is happening?" And I was like, "Oh wait,
that's awesome."
It's this thing. Okay. It's this thing we do.
We try to make each guest as uncomfortable as possible. So, how are we doing so far, T?
I can reciprocate. Do you want me to?
Well, we got questions coming up.
You laugh.
Oh yeah. There's also Scuff gaming controllers, which I have to say I used my Scuff a lot this week on PC mostly because I didn't feel like sitting up and using a mouse and keyboard, and I just
Casual.
Let me just hit the button. Let me just hit the button on my chair here. And just, oh yeah, lean back.
Sometimes you gotta do it.
You gotta lean back
Sometimes.
and then get the video games going with the controller because I don't feel like having good posture.
Yeah,
Especially when I'm farming.
If you're doing the token farm, like plug in a controller and sit back. Yeah.
Like realistically, the person listening right now, I know what you're doing. You're thinking to yourself,
Ugh.
the weep can't be optimized that much. But have you tried using the paddles on the back of a scuff controller to optimize your movement to get even more coins?
That's right.
More tokens, more faster.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
and do it in comfort. Use code DCP to get 5% off on your Scuff gaming controller.
And when you buy another one, use code Watts, and then use code Tefty, and then use code Holtz.
Just Holtz.
And then also make sure you're on your character that is representing Future War Cult, because we all know that's the best faction, right? Right?
Yes.
We will have some sort of issues with that.
Why?
If you get
anything but Dead Orbit. Anything but Dead Orbit.
Dead Orbit wants to leave. New Monarchy wants to set up some weird hierarchy.
As
Future War Cult's predicting wars.
Dead Orbit this month, just don't let Dead Orbit win. That's all. Nobody wants a grenade launcher. Nobody wants you.
Exactly.
I'm sorry to tell you.
A sword or a fusion rifle is way better than a one in the chamber grenade launcher that is going to go straight in the garbage.
It's gonna go flying past someone's head and not hit them.
Yeah, right. It's gonna go flying past a dreg.
Don't worry, bring it blinded.
God damn it! Let's get some Twitter questions in here. Deuce says, first off, I'm a 2+ year Dino Tea Party member, so hi Teawrex. Question: if you all were designing a Vex-based horde mode, what aspects would you include? How would the play space be constructed? So if you're gonna make a horde mode for Destiny 2. What would you like to see in it? I mean, we've seen some horde modes, right? Or, pseudo horde modes. We saw Prison of Elders. We saw...
Yeah. There's a lot of content that they could actually take out of the game right now and make them horde modes. And, like, a lot of those public event areas, they could spawn you into a zone like that's been blocked off, that you're just in that area, and have Vex show up, like just have them, and also like where you find Cade stuck in the time loop down in that area during the mission, like that's a perfect spot. There's tons of spots in the game right now that they could be like, all right, we're gonna have a horde mode area right here, and then after every say 5th wave, you get a chance at a drop, and it starts at crappy drops and then goes up to high drops the farther you go in the horde mode, and also gets obviously more difficult too.
I would love for them to use time travel and have us time travel every so many waves to a different place that tells the story of the Vex.
Your idea is way better than mine. Love it.
Oh my God.
Mine's also not realistic at all.
No, it is.
They did it in WoW.
It is.
They did it in WoW with like the Caverns of Time, basically, where there were different dungeons, different portions of time, and like some of them had kind of.
The Vex are all about time. I want to travel through space and time with the Vex and see their story and see like the super pristine looking Vex.
And the ones that have been like standing still for so long and waiting in stasis that they have like moss growing on. Yeah.
I want to see. I want the moss monsters to attack me. So.
I would like to see some elements of randomness so that you don't necessarily know exactly where the next mob is going to spawn. You don't know that there is going to be, a yellow health bar enemy coming out of that door and then one coming out of that door, and you know to put a grenade in front of that door so that he walks through that grenade. He's already weakened. Like there's got to be some kind of randomness. And I'd like to see it so that along with that randomness, it also kind of just keeps going and progressing. And the longer you stick with it, the longer you are in that activity, the better the rewards get. So, if you can get to level 20 of that activity, you're guaranteed like a purple engram. And if you get to level 30, you're guaranteed a power engram. And if you get to level 50, you're guaranteed
just start an amazing quest line for an exotic. Not just get it. Start the quest line.
Yes.
Start the quest when you get to level 100, then you got to do it again to get to 100.
No. Fuck that.
This is how grinding works.
That's the grind. We want the grind.
No, you can grind without just doing the same thing over and over again. I hate
Make me kill rats
quest
in a
line
field
where it's like,
for a farmer.
You know what? You got this shotgun. Guess what? To get the actual part of the shotgun, you had to go to complete the raid. Then you get a thing to go into a dungeon. Now you get the shotgun. Guess what? Get the next thing. You got to go back into the raid. But thematically, you've already cleared the damn raid, and I don't want to have to do it twice just to complete the thing. And you had to do that with just about every type of thing. Like Outbreak Prime, you had to do the same thing. In World of
Holtzmann, I just. Tell me how you really feel, man. I feel like you're holding back here.
Warcraft, you had to do the same thing. It took 6 months to get the stupid ring and cloak. 6 months of running the same content over and over, and it didn't even change. And that type of thing. This is more me ranting about WoW now than Destiny.
Yeah, this is a WoW rant.
Getting back to it though, it's like what I'd like to see though is instead of like where a raid is the same exact thing every time you go into it, is introduce some random elements so that. Like I was saying, it's like it doesn't feel exactly the same time every time you load in.
New raid content?
Procedurally generated dogs with different paths. And there might be one dog, there might be 20.
Oh, you got unlucky. You got the 20 doggos. Go to orbit.
You got the 20 dogs.
Yeah, and you cannot back out. If you do, you will forever respawn.
They delete your account.
You can't back out.
But then there's a separate way to defeat the doggos by petting them and giving them food.
Or the 20 doggo instance is the only one that drops the quest for the super rare exotic.
I'm telling you, Winter's Guile at 5 stacks, you just punch all those dogs in the face.
I want to see
one by one.
See Winter's Guile on the dog encounter, because during part of the dogs, a bunch of them swarm you.
Yeah,
so you just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then you hit all of them, and then you fight the big dog.
Yes, just one shot them.
What a ruin a dog's day.
What about you, T?
Sorry.
What about you for horde mode?
I've actually thought about this a lot because in my free time, I've been trying to write a Destiny D&D campaign. And the theory I have with a Vex encounter is there is a replicative mind to where basically TLDR, it's a Vex 3D printer. To where basically it will print out Vex in the middle of this arena. And as time goes on, as you defeat more Vex, they get more analytical of you as Guardians and start seeing your attack patterns, stuff like that, and they adapt to it and grow stronger until eventually you get far enough where it will print out a 3D Guardian. Like, whoop, but it's a Vex.
That would be cool.
So in, let's say, the game's version of that, at any moment, if you want to, you can destroy the replicative mind and end the encounter if you wish. But as you go on, you get better and better rewards, perhaps from the stronger Vex. And then let's say you kill one of the Vex Guardians, it'll drop, let's say, like a piece of like Vex Guardian armor or like a thing you can craft into your own weapon or something like that to add kind of like a choice of deterministic loot. So that way, if you do it enough, you're like, yes, I can finally make the Vex sword. Oh my goodness. And it's so bad, whatever you want to say about it. That's something I would love to see.
Sword.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's got Vex milk in it.
Yeah.
What if it's
man.
And
Guys,
you can drink it as
listen,
an
you're
emote?
killing Vex, and you're like, you know what? I'm a little thirsty. I'm going to take a drink and just keep going.
No, I'm telling you, we need an exotic that allows us to shoot the Vex milk. Just arc it and be like, whoosh. It'd be awesome.
I don't know if that's appropriate. I'm just.
Oh, it's appropriate.
It is wildly over appropriate. Let me
shoot the
tell
Vex
you.
milk at the public event chest.
That's called the old fashioned.
It's called marking your territory. Okay, it's very important.
It's a whole new level of season in the chest.
The thing about Vex 3D printed Guardian. What if the stranger is an escaped 3D printed Guardian from that raid, which is why she has such a hatred, because she's technically a Guardian, but she was created by the Vex.
Quick, somebody from lore that knows something about a Guardian that was
literally
in
anything.
the Vault of Glass. One of them. Anybody?
Anybody out there know about lore?
Chat, help us out. Feeling Coffee 88 says, question for Teawrex. Where did you come up with your name? And don't you know that coffee is better than tea?
All right. Well, first off, my name, it's honestly not as exciting. It really was just like me being like, I like dinosaurs. Oh, that's taken. I'm going to spell it weird. But the big reason is when I was going to get fitted for my brother's wedding for a suit for the first time, we were going together. So he was getting his, groomsman suit, all that kind of stuff, and we were getting my best man suit. And I remember distinctly, like, the seamstress or whatever, the person who measures you was like, does all her stuff, then walks back, looks at both of us, is like, huh, he stole 2 inches from your arms, making him a gorilla and you a T-Rex. And I just will always remember that. And I'm like, okay, person who I'm paying to do this for some reason. And that's, I guess, the more fun way of how I got my name. But yeah, I mean, and also coffee marrying the tea. Yeah, coffee's great in the morning, but tea is an awesome nighttime drink. So you can go funk yourself, sir. You can go right to Funky Town.
But then you can always get a delicious cup of King's Coast coffee, which I'm not drinking. This is community coffee, but gotta plug it.
Gotta hit those sponsors. Wait,
We're
not
sponsored by King's Coast Coffee.
Yo,
we have a shoe in,
you guys.
Guys.
Know that I'm not like part of that, right? Like I just
why are you not?
Because I don't live in Tampa.
You're not on the coast.
I'm King's, Texas.
Hey, Gulf Coast. Come on, there's a Gulf Coast.
Welcome to King's Landlocked Coffee.
King's Fault Line Coffee.
Hey, that would be like here in Sacramento, Fault Lines.
David Brown says, do you think the Osiris expansion will make or break Destiny 2?
There's been a lot of things that were going to make or break the Destiny franchise, and it's still around. I think there's going to be some good choices and some questionable choices that are made, and we as a community are going to be very vocal about them with the DLC, but the game will continue.
That doesn't sound like us.
Nah? I don't think it's an all or nothing type of thing for Curse of Osiris. A lot of people seem to think that it's dire straits right now, but again, if you roll back time to vanilla Destiny, there's a lot of very similar conversations that were had at this exact moment about the game, and it survived 3 years of changes and all that.
What was it? The winter or December after the Taken King, when the Crucible got skill-based matchmaking, Bungie as a whole went on vacation, and we had no idea when or if we were going to get another DLC.
And we were like, what is this PvP? I'm playing in like $1 million tournament every game. Don't know why. We're stuck forever.
There's like a matchstick lit in the community compared to the fucking bonfire that was going on at that time.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I would say, no matter what, the first DLC may not make or break Destiny 2, but I think it'll be a very, very important one to set the tone of what the future has to hold in regards to how they're going to create content reactionary to our critiques.
Yeah.
If they are quick about it, or if they're going to be like, kind of meeting us halfway or going full Monty. Like it's going to be very interesting. I know a lot of folks think they already made it before the game even came out. It's not really what the conversation's about, but if that is our future, the first expansion or the first DLC being indicative to what DLC 2 is going to be like, to what the next year's really big DLC is going to look like. So it may not be make or break, but I think it's going to be very indicative of a kind of a pseudo roadmap for what we genuinely should expect out of our future payments towards the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also seeing what they do with season 2 is going to be a pretty good thing to see, a good indicator of, okay, so what are these seasons really all about? This is going to be our first taste of what a season is like when it goes from one season to the next. So I think it is a big time. I think it's an important time. It's a first DLC. It's the first change of seasons. So I think they have a lot to show. I don't think it will necessarily make or break it. Like Tefty said, there'll be some good decisions. There'll be some, why did you do that decisions.
You can say bad. It's okay to say bad decisions.
But yeah, I think it's just how fast is Bungie going to make the game that everyone is wanting from them? You know what else I want Bungie to know? It's like, Bungie, people want to play your game for like 40 hours a day. It's okay. Accept it. Embrace it.
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't need to just make a game where people can play for 2 weeks and put it down for 3 months and then pick it up again. People want to play your game a lot. Embrace that people want to grind the hell out of it.
Yep. Agreed.
Because they don't want to. It doesn't seem like.
And if you're like a nervous consumer, then vote with your money and vote with your wallet, Sorry, vote with your time, vote with your wallet.
Yeah.
So if you aren't enjoying the game, then go play something else. There's some kick-ass games out right now.
They're
freaking
so
awesome
games.
Yep.
Go play those and come back. Maybe when you come back, the game will be exactly what you want it to be, and then everyone is happy.
Right now, Teawrex. What's got you excited as far as games besides Destiny?
I started Odyssey. That's been amazing. I played the South Park game. That was a trip. I'm really excited for the Horizon DLC when I can chew my way into it. I'm excited for Crackdown 3 eventually. TM stuff like that, man. I got a lot of stuff. I'm chomping at the bit to play. I just got to get to where I need to be on PC, at least for the DLC, that I can really sink my time into it.
It's honestly, I think 2017 has been one of the best years I've ever lived through as far as
so good.
games.
It's true.
Amazing
It's true. There's been
all year long too.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild, Horizon Zero Dawn, right?
Even Hellblade, amazing.
Yep.
Hellblade was, oh my god, no,
Pyre.
so good.
Fire was fantastic.
Even Assassin's Creed. I can't wait to play Assassin's Creed Origins.
Assassin's Creed. People are saying it's their favorite Assassin's Creed ever.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein.
Sounds great.
Apparently,
So
this
much.
COD's also pretty good.
Nier Automata.
Yep.
Neo.
Doki Doki Literature Club.
Wasn't that?
Nope, you lost me.
Yo, you want to get weeb up in here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, Resident
Oh
Evil
my
7
god,
came
I
out
forgot
this
about
year.
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, it
That
was
was
so
They have
early
it.
on.
unbelievable.
And they have a DLC
Insane.
story content coming out the December as well.
That's gonna be in VR
That's
too.
true.
Ooh.
No,
Ooh.
I can. That's not a game I want to play in VR.
Oh my god, it was so good. T. It was so good in
No.
VR.
No.
I drink
doing
too
it.
much coffee. I'd probably have a heart attack.
I think sans coffee still have a heart attack. Just 100%. Just
Oh,
put it on, pass out.
also Mario came out.
PUBG.
Mario King.
PUBG took
PUBG.
the world by surprise. Yep.
I mean, PUBG's been out before this year, hasn't it?
I mean,
I thought it came out this year.
But it exploded this year for sure. But I think that it's been out for longer than just.
Oh,
this
was
year.
it? Okay. Yeah.
I feel like it has, but then I could be super wrong.
Doesn't Monster Hunter come out for PS4 this year?
Next year.
Next month has the open beta for PS
Open
Plus.
beta.
Yeah. It's official
Yo,
release. Yeah. Cuphead was amazing.
Cuphead? Oh my god. There's so many.
Good.
There's
Magic the
so-
Gathering Arena.
What? Magic?
Bro.
Holtz, tell me all about the Magic cards.
Yo,
What are
they're
you
basically
doing,
making
Jeff?
Hearthstone, but for
Oh,
Magic
God.
now. Because
I
the
have
only
to kick
profitable
the
way to
horse
make a digital
nest.
card game is to fucking copy and paste Hearthstone.
All right. Next question. Stephen Paul says exotics are coming back. Nothing we can do about it. So let's just talk about them. What kind of balance would a weapon like Thorn need for it to be both fun but also not meta destroying? I, for one, never got to use Thorn at its best.
I've
I
actually.
want to be able to two-tap those Mida users in the back of the map. That's what I want to do.
I've actually.
I want green smoke to follow me
Oh, there you
so
go.
they know that I'm coming for them.
I've legitimately given this some thought. I think if they want it to operate like Thorn was in the game, they have to hard code in some abilities to bypass the recovery. So you could take damage, but the recovery is still normal
Oh
from.
my gosh.
Because that would just be awful if
You just get rid of
Hi.
hunters. Hunters would
Hi,
just be
I'm a
fun.
hunter. I got shot once, and it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
And I still haven't recovered.
it would be so broken in the current
Destiny
meta.
3 is out, and I'm still trying to recover.
Pretty bad.
They'd have to make it so where you can take damage and it would tick, but your recovery time would still kick in at the right time in order to actually keep it like that. Otherwise, it needs a complete rework to be able to be put in
I
the
would
game.
say great fix. You get the thorn, and then it doesn't work because you have to go on an exotic quest to cleanse it and make it the rose.
That's awesome.
Love
There you
it.
go.
that idea.
Love it. What
Yeah.
does the
I
rose
would
do,
love
though?
to see them embrace more of that
The
story.
rose
of,
it does not the thorn stuff.
Hold up. What
That's-
if the rose overrid your melee? So like you actually hit somebody with the rose and it caused bleeding.
Yeah, we've been asking for
Can I
that
just-
for the past 3 years.
I want to hit them with the rose and flowers, just pedal it down.
You know, it has
I
like
bless.
actual thorns on it, you know, because it's a rose and you like. It's pretty weird, I know, but you know, it's exotic.
What if it healed your teammates?
Oh, scratchy Heelys.
You turn into Anna from
Pretty
Yo,
much.
what
Yeah.
if? Yeah, Rose healed your teammates by shooting them? That'd be crazy.
I mean, they're always in my way anyway. Might as well get some benefit.
I'm constantly shooting my
It's only
teammates.
you while you're in my way.
Dude, I'm always shooting my teammates. I'm like, I just shot you.
Yeah, and that would negate the need for warlocks because then you could just heal your teammates.
And it's
like
a
this.
hunter exclusive weapon.
Yes.
You could look
Hunters
down
are now
and
viable.
shoot your
It
foot.
also deletes warlocks from the game when shot. It's it's great.
Chaos says, how excited are you that when the Curse of Osiris DLC drops, we will finally get to meet the most notorious guardian in all of Destiny?
Dragon War?
I'm really excited.
Right? I disagree with the premise of this question.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Osiris is the most notorious guardian in Destiny.
According to the people that speak in the tower, that is how he is portrayed. That is not reflective of the community, I feel, but that is how the game sees him.
But he looks really cool.
He does.
He
does.
looks ultra
I'm
badass.
excited.
He taught Ikora everything she knows. I mean,
And apparently she's a badass.
she's a badass, and this is her teacher. Like,
Yeah.
he's got to be on another level. And he's like got uncomfortably close to the darkness, which then got ridden out of the game. Crazy, right? So he got uncomfortably close to something that got taken out of the game. So he's got to be a badass. He's like an ultimate edgelord right there.
How dare
He
you write
must-
this out? This was mine.
he must be for Dead Orbit.
Deadpool.
I am excited.
I hope the story is amazing. I hope I get to learn about this guy that I was doing his trials for
Yeah.
so long. I'm excited. And I hope they actually tie in trials with him a little bit.
I
I
hope
kind of
we,
do too.
I hope
Like-
we don't just see him in a cutscene and then that's it.
And
it
that's
just
it. Oh,
mentions
I
again.
hope not. I already love him. I need to know more.
You think he'll be the new speaker?
It's possible for sure.
I vote this chicken man become our next speaker. Who's with me? Chicken man.
Shut up, Dead Orbit. We're sick of you.
You're gonna leave anyways. Get out of here. All right. Goddamn.
Yeah. No, we don't care. Just stop
Take a
complaining.
grenade
Go
launcher.
already.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Take the ship and leave. You said it so many times.
I'm really leaving this time, guys.
Sure. All right.
Like
Yeah,
Dead Orbit's the kid in the family that always threatened to run away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was unhappy with
Mom,
everything.
I'm gonna leave. I'm leaving.
That was me, but I was no only child, so
And he doesn't even have his like a wing. He's got like a place that he just showed up, you know.
You're
little
right.
clubhouse.
Yeah, he doesn't have like Future War Cult's got a room, looks all futurish.
Yeah, they
You-
got
Like, you know, this was the storage area
Yeah.
for all the offloading ships. You're kind of in everyone's way.
Like he was already kicked out.
Somewhere he couldn't be somewhere, just realistically,
Yeah.
or just be like, all right, that's fine. All right.
He's like, I'm fueling the space bus, Guardians. Come on, we gotta go.
It's a Greyhound. It's really cheap.
Yeah, cheap, great.
Cobalt says raids always have a theme. Vogue was descent, Wrath of the Machine was collision. After playing Leviathan for over a month, do you think it's lived up to the goal of building a place that's real? What word would you give for this theme? For its theme?
Opulent.
Opulent, yeah.
100% opulence, yeah.
Game show.
Game show, yeah.
The building a place that's real. I mean, it did kind of work for me because, you know, there are all these connected places and you've also got like the whole underbelly of the Leviathan that you're kind of, you know, you can pop up in different places. So it all is connected. Real, I don't know if it's necessarily the right word, but it does feel like an actual place that could exist in like this like weird ass future with spaceships flying around. But like it does feel connected, and it does feel like there's like, you know, there's machines in the underbelly that are making things happen, and it's cool. It's a cool thing.
can
It
also
feels like a ship.
Yeah.
Right?
You can also see it from Nessus too, and like see
Yeah.
the buildings and all that, which I thought was a cool touch.
That is cool.
I didn't know that. You can?
Oh yeah, if you go to
Yeah.
Nessus and look up, you'll see the Leviathan with
You
the
can see,
So if
the stars like orbiting around it too.
Mhm.
So if the question is, does it feel real in the sense of does it feel real in the game? It does. It doesn't feel like it's you know, there's no magic behind the curtain. It's all machines and things actually working together, and these places are all actually connected. So if that was the question, then yeah, I definitely think it is. But if I had to choose a different word, then yeah, opulence and it's like I will say it's like if Hedonism Bot had a raid. There you go.
Yeah.
Oily.
An oily,
Oily.
purplish gold raid.
I Come in Peace says, what are your thoughts on high impact scout rifles? They used to be my favorite in Destiny 1, but they just seem a little out of place in Destiny 2. Do you think making them able to 3-tap in the Crucible would be too overpowered?
If you wanted them to 3-tap, you'd have to slow down the rate of fire a little bit more, I feel like. And because right now it's, I think, 2 body, 2 headshot for them. They're the most like forgiving yet unforgiving at the same time. Because if you're good with hitting your precision shots, you'll be fine. But at the same time, you know, I can land 4 headshots with the other archetype and probably be okay as well. There's no real reason to use them in either PvE or PvP right now, especially when they all have atrocious handling speeds and reload speeds, and there's no perks that actually like benefit the type of weapon that it is, the archetype. It's like, oh, this one reloads when it's stowed away. It's my kinetic weapon. I'm supposed to be using this all the time. Then you have like Zen Moment on, I think, Frontier Justice or something like that. And there's another one where it's like Hipfire accuracy. I'm like,
on a scout?
On a scout, on the slowest rate of fire one.
Yeah, that's what I want.
I'm not feeling like these perks are playing into the whole slow rate of fire weapon. They're just like
so hard to find kinetic mods too. It's like,
yeah,
you know, you want to increase handling speed or you want to increase reload speed. It just takes forever to get those mods.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like they're the archetype that is not favored in this meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I Come in Peace says, never mind. Alvaro says, in light of high cal flinch tests put out by people like Fallout Plays, do you think it's worth it to spec guns for that perk on guns like Uriel's Gift?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially on Uriel's Gift.
On Uriel's, yeah, for sure.
Do you want to shoot somebody with an auto rifle from space and make them flinch so much they can't shoot anything ever? Use the Uriel's Gift with high caliber rounds.
Yeah. The test that they did showed that there's not a huge difference between the flinch of a normal weapon versus a weapon with high caliber rounds. It did show that there is more, but not like the significant difference that it was in Destiny 1. But what the test did show that overall is flinch as a whole is pretty nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Flinch sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like flinch is just a little too high in this game. I think in general it could be brought down.
Yep.
It's really rough on things that suffer from like having harder to deal with flinch.
Mm-hmm.
So like snipers are pretty rough.
Yeah.
And then same with like scouts. Like if you're getting hit from the side by like an auto rifle or something, and you're scoped in, you're not going to hit whatever you're trying to shoot at.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Dies Iria. Any plans on what you all will do with private matches?
Isn't that the whole point? I'm not supposed to tell you. They're private. Next question.
There we go. Next question.
Yep.
I didn't really use them much in Destiny 1 for personal use. What I used them for was watching really good players play each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that was fun. And
That
I
was
want
fun.
to come back desperately because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to have custom games and the ability for a rudimentary map editor will make me make a lot of stuff. Private matches are a step in the right direction for a lot of people. But for me, I spent a lot of times, even as someone who played mainly by himself, without like their friends for Halo 3. I would make Forge maps and then just put them out there on for people to download and talk about it on BungieNet. Just because it was fun. I liked making like survival maps where it's like get to the end without dying, and like I like doing stuff like that. But in this game, the private matches I feel like are kind of the bare bones minimum when I know that Bungie can do more, and I hope that we get that extra oomph for making our own really unique experiences in the Crucible.
Yep.
I would make it control only, and I would invite people to play with me, and we'd only play control. That's what I'd use them for.
Holden Sasaki says, so browsing a Reddit thread yesterday, I saw a ton of comments with people saying things like, I miss Corda Oryx so much, and PoE was the best. Do you think a lot of the community was just has a case of the grass is always greener, or are people really missing these things?
Yeah, Prison of Elders. Oh man, how I miss you.
I think some people definitely can and do miss it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little. It is a little bit of grass is always greener.
Yeah.
I think, at least you had those activities as an option, and
Agreed.
now you don't anymore. I mean, keep in mind all those things were added in with DLC or expansions, and
True.
we have the base game right now.
I legitimately liked Archon's Forge, and I actually played that basically for an entire year. I'd go in there, and it was a great place to farm for engrams. It was kind of a fun thing to do. Yeah, there weren't enough activities in it, and I'd like to see that kind of a thing expanded on in the future. But I did enjoy it. I think that as they did these kind of horde-ish modes, they got better and better as they went. I think that Horde Oryx was better than
100%.
PoE, and that Archon's Forge was better than Horde Oryx. So I'd love to see their next attempt at it, because I do think the game ultimately needs something like that.
They do, yeah.
Man, Archon's Forge was one thing away from being absolutely perfect in my eyes, and that's an exotic thing that you would put in, and it would turn that area into a horde mode.
That would
That'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
I think also that they need, again, there's only one thing that you can do as a 6-man, and it's so weird that that's it. They need something else, whether it be PvP or PvE, that is also 6-man. And I'm hoping that it's possible they add that in Curse of Osiris. And maybe even it's matchmaking too. Like you go in with a team of 2 and then 4 other people match, and you're in this environment, and maybe it's horde mode-ish, maybe it's Poe-like, but more expansive and bigger. Because they don't have last gen to deal with now, those memory restraints, so they could do a bigger one. I want more 6-man activities in the game.
Yeah, I completely agree. I actually saw a few people saying that it's kind of messing with their clan's ability to kind of hang out and spend time together, because they'll do the raid and then they can't just go do PvP. Someone has to drop out, or they have to split into 2 teams of 3. So it's kind of stopping friends in these groups and clans from going from one thing in the world to another thing in the world. They have to break up. So we definitely need more 6-man activities for sure.
It'd be even cooler too if you could have that activity be a bit modular, to where, let's say you have like that 6-person horde mode, and maybe you queue in as 2 and you matchmake with 4, but maybe have the game somehow scale everything back for X number of players.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that way, and maybe also scale the rewards. That way, to get the best thing, either be like play as a solo player, maybe you want to encourage that, or play as a group of 6.
Yeah.
But that way, a group of kind of any size can bare minimum at least experience that thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree.
and hopefully make some friends. Like if you have a good time with people in your horde mode, and shoot them an invite, and all of a sudden you got more friends on your friends list.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Unichronic says, doesn't it feel disappointing that we have to wait for Curse of Osiris for Destiny 2 to have an end game? Even then, no guarantees.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would love more end game.
Also, I
would have loved that.
I don't know if we're actually going to get an end game with this DLC.
I don't know. I'm not expecting it, if I'm honest. It's the first DLC. I'm not expecting something that's going to be like, oh yeah, now I want to play Destiny for 12 hours a day every day. I won't stop, can't stop.
An end game is something that takes a ton of time to honestly develop, and the truth is that game, or that DLC, was probably like feature ready done for the most part, like probably a month ago, or
Probably.
Like they couldn't add anything else,
Because it was at that point, it's like QA and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you got
everything.
Yeah, get everything out. So it's feature ready. They can't add in more stuff to the game. Just based on that's how other games are traditionally made. At some point you have to say nothing else is getting added. So the problems that we're having now, they were apparent, but suddenly fixing that in like maybe a month time span left, they had probably. That's
not possible. You just get a Band-Aid if you get anything. And we want a real end game. I think
I do. I am suspicious that they were aware of the limits to the end game that they had provided when they started talking about, like when we talked about earlier, Luke Smith said that, what happens when you get your 3rd better devils or your 4th better devils? Like, they were aware of these issues before Destiny even came out. Right. So hopefully, from internal playtesting before Destiny 2 came out, they started getting these ideas and building I don't expect like a Taken King kind of revamp though.
No.
It's going to be small adjustments to how tokens work and how rewards work and that kind of stuff.
I will say, when they did the stream at TwitchCon, it was interesting. So the live team is a group that is now working on D2, and obviously the DLC team, I'm assuming, is different. So I don't know. Maybe the live team has been working on things, and we'll be able to add stuff with season 2 that's going to add some potential end game. Maybe. Yeah. I think the best approach is to not expect it, because you're probably going to get disappointed if you expect this DLC to add all the things that are missing from D2 right now.
I also think that it's a bit of a loaded question, because to me, as a hardcore player, there is endgame. It exists. The problem being is that there's not much reason to repeat it, as there was in Destiny 1 or in previous versions of the game, and the game is less grindy as a whole because of a variety of things.
Yeah.
Just because I am not satiated as a player does not equal there is no content or there is no end game. But I do 100% agree with that the replayability for the people with as much time as you or I, or people watching this or listening to this, the folks who go out of their way to learn more about Destiny, all of us probably want more because we are ravenous for this type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we also fell in love with that original vanilla Destiny.
Yes, exactly. I would like to think beyond hope that the original version of Destiny 2 was to be approachable for people that they missed, for people who were not you or I, who couldn't get into the game because of the barriers that you and I actually enjoyed. So that's what I really want to hope. And maybe it's altruistic. I could be very wrong, but I'd like to think that's true, and that they're going to build upon what they currently have to deliver reasons for you and I to keep playing, as well as reasons for the casual player base to keep playing, and not feel ostracized for being locked out of the raid or being super behind in power. There is a way to please everybody, and I hope that Bungie finds it.
Yeah, same.
Yep, completely agree.
If you're looking at realistic expectations for when that end game is going to hit, though,
I don't know.
Maybe the second DLC. Like this type of stuff takes a long time to develop, and I see comments like, "Oh, smaller studios can put out so much more content." The larger the studio, larger it's going to take, or the longer it's traditionally going to take, because you have so many more teams, so many more people to talk to, to make sure it's in line with everything that won the game.
Lots of meetings.
More gears in the machine,
Making sure that everyone's on board with a system. They know what this new system is, because a lot of systems would have to change for a significant end game to be added.
Oh yeah, that's requiring basically every single major part of the studio to have to get together and get on the same page and decide stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because you can't have like the PvP team be like, yeah, we want like super hardcore grindy game, and then the PvE team's like, well, let's just give them everything in a day.
We're going to increase the power level in PvE so much, and now the PvP team's like, well, how will we make PvP feel the same or good? And
it takes a long time, unfortunately.
Justin Weber says, what is your opinion on the faction token farming in the Weep Lost Sector? Are exploits like this the real problem? Or is it symptomatic of a larger problem with the loot structure for limited time events? Bungie already mentioned planned changes for Iron B. Does Faction Rally need love too?
The thing for me is I just want the loot so I can go back to playing the game. And if it's quicker for me to do that for an hour than play the game and for a very long time and not get the loot, no, I'm going to play it for an hour. I have no problem grinding for an hour to get every single possible loot drop.
I would say the big distinction right now is that I agree that Faction Rally has problems. I think everyone thinks that it's fun, but it can be better. But I would not say that if Faction Rally was exactly what we wanted it to be and was perfect in every way, if people think that people wouldn't do the Weep thing, people are always going to find the fastest way to farm something, regardless if the content is fun to do or easy to do or hard to do. There is the path of least resistance, and Destiny players are goddamn wizards at finding them.
Yep.
It took less than an hour for that to be the top post on the Destiny subreddit of we found a new cheese, boys, let's go. And then for the next And for the next day, they're like, hey, this is the best way to do the cheese. Oh, no, now you can stand on top of the chest and it'll launch you up so you don't have to press jump. You know, it saves you like 3 frames. three frames of your farm time, man.
Oh, my God.
False Pretense 23 says, what apps do you guys use to create YouTube videos?
Adobe Premiere.
Programs. Okay. Okay, so here's your YouTuber starter kit. First of all, blue microphone.
Boom.
Because you got to have good audio. You know what people don't want to hear?
Steady audio coming in from your headset and mic.
They don't want to hear it. They won't listen to you. Number 2, you're going to want to download Audacity because it's free audio editing. And let me tell you really can't tell the difference between Premiere and Audacity edited stuff, especially if you don't know what you're doing for the most part.
Audition, you mean?
Huh? Yeah, sure, whatever. Get Audacity. It's free. You know what? For video editing, more console. I think he still uses Windows Movie Maker.
He does, yeah.
Just saying. Just saying, if you're wanting to make YouTube videos and you're not doing like intense, effects and stuff on it, you're just dropping clips into a timeline. When I was working at Planet Destiny, they used that for 2 years for my entirety there. I was the only person that wasn't using it. And honestly, I could have gotten away with using it because I'm just dropping clips into a timeline. So
that's what most YouTubers do, right? Is that you don't. When you start seeing guys that are doing like the really cool montages with all the the post effects work and all that stuff, they're getting more into After Effects and programs that they could actually like build different filters and stuff like that. But for most people, you just Google free video editing software and you'll find exactly what you need, and it's not that complicated. If you want to step up, you can look for Sony Vegas. I've heard horrible stories about Sony Vegas crashing all the time, though.
Don't use it. I use it. It's trash. I'm trapped in an endless cycle of importing MP4 clips and the entire program fucking crashing because
Adobe Audition is nice. I'm starting to learn that more and more.
You mean Premiere?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Premiere. But there's a monthly fee. So, to get Premiere and Audition and Photoshop and basically like the YouTuber starter kit on a PC, it's going to cost you $50 a month.
Fuck that.
Which is a lot. So my suggestion is, Google free auditing, free video editing software. Use Audacity, like Patrick said, and then find something that you can do thumbnails with that's not going to cost an arm and a leg. On the Mac, everything you need comes with the Mac. iMovie. Just use iMovie. If you want to step up to Final Cut, that'll cost you $300, but it's $300 and then you own it for life as opposed to $50 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And iMovie is super easy to use.
Just that $50 a month though gets you a lot of programs. Like it'll give you.
It does, yeah.
It'll give you all the entire Adobe suite. So
but if you're just starting out, like don't.
Yeah, if you're doing like you said, just dropping clips into a timeline and then exporting, then you can definitely get by with free solutions easily.
Yeah.
I'm Teawrex. I am a Twitch streamer.
What do you use for Twitch streaming? Because that's equally as interesting.
Jeez.
All right. So I use OBS Studio currently, 64-bit. I have a custom built alert suite that I would not recommend investing in. If you want to stream on Twitch, honestly, what I would start with is just use your console. If you use a console of any kind, the PS4 and the Xbox One have native streaming. I think it's also on Mixer too. Try it out. See if you like it. After that, start investing in other things too. Like maybe you want to do webcam. Maybe you never want to do webcam. But just like with YouTube, get a good mic. Something that just doesn't pick up a lot of the extra stuff. Use Blue. Use whatever. Just as long as it's not like you're talking to your cell phone 20 feet away, whatever that is.
Make sure it can't pick up you peeing in the bathroom.
Or maybe that's what you're into.
Maybe that's what I'm into.
Maybe that's why people come to the stream, Patrick.
Yeah, mine does do that.
Did you watch the Lyrics early days? I don't know. I didn't see it.
And then just pick it up as you go, man. A lot of at least for Twitch, and I'm assuming also YouTube is self-taught, and there's things that work for you that don't work for others, and vice versa. Forge your own path. see what works, learn, make mistakes, get better, repeat.
If you want to learn how to do something, Google it.
Yeah, start cheap. And then if you find that you're starting to really enjoy what you're doing and you're seeing a little bit of success, maybe you're even seeing some revenue come in, then start throwing some money where you think it makes the most sense for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you want to upgrade your audio, maybe you want to upgrade your video, who knows, but start cheap and then learn what you need and what you want and what works for you. Don't just go out and buy a bunch of shit. And then in a month you say, you know what? I actually don't really like doing this. It's not that much fun. Let me try Twitch streaming instead.
See, it's just like a Magic the Gathering deck. Don't suddenly invest everything into a Rug Delver deck because that's like $3,000. And it turns out that you really just like casting Lightning Bolt, and that would be a burn deck, which only costs like $400.
Damn,
So
if only I cared. Oh.
Listen, I just want to use Supreme Judgment. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Fish Biscuit says Baja Blast Soda or Baja Blast Freezer?
What's
I
freezer?
haven't tried either of them.
I'm guessing, I've never had it, but I'm guessing it's one of those like icy drinks where there's like ice kind of.
I'm gonna say that one.
A Baja Blast of icy proportions?
Yeah, I think so.
God.
That sounds good.
Get a brain freeze and a caffeine high?
That's what I'm scared of is the brain freeze.
Pass
Like,
out,
whenever I
great.
drink like those
Happy
icy
Friday.
kind of drinks, man, it's like, fuck. Or I could drink a soda, no problem. Cold soda, I never get brain freeze.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm ended up with diabetes, so fuck there. Do I want diabetes with brain freeze or just a refreshing diabetes?
Probably refreshing, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
I'm thinking
Yeah. I mean, you get more thirsty as you have the Baja Blast.
that's probably true.
No, that's what happened to me during the charity stream. I was like, I can't stop drinking this Baja Blast because it keeps making me thirsty.
Eric emails says, with all the complaining, is it a coincidence that one of the first missions is in a salt mine?
Fascinating.
Probably not. Probably a little jab
Thinking
at us.
emoji.
I think it's a jab. Yeah, I think it's like a. Why has it got to be a salt mine? It's funny. That's why it's got to be a salt mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I thought we'd talk more about that one, but we'll move on. Martin11 says, at what point should we stop asking for certain changes and features? Bungie doesn't say yes, but they don't say no about suggestions. But asking for the same things for 3 years kind of makes you lose hope.
Never. Always give feedback.
Yep.
100%.
Always give constructive feedback. Like if you're just yelling, you're not going to get anywhere. If you genuinely
point, it's
love
not
this
feedback.
game,
It's being
that's
asked.
true. That's if you genuinely love this game, you want it to be better. You think you know what would make it better for you. Just give your feedback, give your reasoning, explain why you're not enjoying it, and all of that. Bungie hears all of it.
Yeah.
Trust me, they are hearing all of it. So when you express yourself, make sure it's constructive.
Yeah.
One of
Constructive.
the
Always do
best.
Get constructive
Go ahead.
and do not belittle the developers because it is very time consuming and they put a lot of passion in the game as well. And so when you belittle their work by saying that they've just destroyed things and completely don't know what they're doing and so on and so forth, you're less likely to have your feedback heard amongst in there. Because you probably do have feedback in there if you are lacing it with a bunch of explicitives towards Bungie. But it's
Yeah.
not going to be as effective as if you are just very constructive and also kind at the same time with your feedback.
I would say the best advice I've ever given about trying to give feedback about something is look back on something you didn't like and try to implement something that you did into what you didn't like. Looking back, I really enjoyed blank, and I think blank could improve this thing I didn't like. That way you're trying to use things that are in terms that you understand because you're like, oh, I really liked doing this story mission because of this.
Mm-hmm.
What was this? I loved driving around in the Drake tank, whatever it was called. And I wish that we could have more of that in the game. Like that's constructive feedback. Something you liked, you would like to see more of it. Stuff like that. Not really helpful criticism is just pointing out something that you dislike without really a solution for it. Sometimes, like if it's a bug, it's a different story. Like, hey, why do my survivalist hunter boots not have any recovery? This is weird. Like that's the thing. But if you're just like, I really dislike how hand cannons do blank, and then you don't have something that you'd like to see instead, it's kind of hard to see, like, take that feedback as much as just like, okay, you found something you didn't like, and you know.
I think, and if you can't give a solution, because a lot of the time as a designer, like you're not necessarily wanting to hear solutions from people, just make sure you're fully explaining why you don't enjoy it. Don't just be like, I don't like the way hand cannons are. Okay, well, why is that? What is your reasoning behind that? What is making it less fun for you? Like, make sure you're fully explaining the reason why you're not having as much fun, because then they can do something with that. It's like, okay, well, they're not having as much fun because their shots aren't hitting where they're aiming. Okay, that's something we can look into and make solutions for.
Yep.
Mr. V says, what's better, orange soda or grape soda?
Orange.
It depends, man.
Here we go.
It isn't really a ranch, you know. Sometimes I prefer, like early in the morning, orange soda.
You're like, I'm gonna have a soda, orange.
Yeah. And later, then we'll go.
Make it nutritious. I'll take the orange.
Yeah.
It's vitamin C up in here.
There we go.
It is kind of weird because like I like a lot of grape flavored things, but yeah, I think it's situational. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll go grape. I think if there was an orange soda and a grape soda sitting on the counter right now, I'd go for the grape.
Just mix them together.
Oh,
Ugh.
God.
It makes. Well, then that does almost make it makes brown, so it would make the Coke. That's how that works.
There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Make it go.
Melon Man says, what would you rather have for the rest of your life? 240 frames or 240 characters? I think he's referring to the 240 character limit on Twitter.
Well,
280 actually.
280.
280.
Oh.
I bet.
I definitely like the 240 frames, but whether we wanted to or not, we've gotten into a war with the Cabal. So let's take out their leadership and the freehold one by one.
I too can meme.
I
That
love
boy
240
over there. That boy.
I love 240 frames and actually hate 280 characters.
I'm actually
Much rather see them pull back on the characters.
Yeah. The
That's only
character
because you have to
thing-
answer questions every week, but you have to get all the questions.
No, that's not why. When you're scrolling through Twitter, everyone's writing a whole freaking story now.
Yeah.
It takes me an hour to just see what's going on.
Or they're
I will say,
one
you know what's
character
just-
per line.
You know what's about as bad as that is everyone who thinks they're being original when they say brevity is the soul of wit. When it's like, congrats, you too read that somewhere, and now it's everyone's posting it. So it's either 280 characters or that statement about
There was a hell of a lot of wit going around when there's only 140 characters. Let me tell you.
Oh, that's not true. Lux Regalia says, do you brush your teeth with warm or cold water?
Warm.
Cold.
Use water?
Yes.
What? You don't use water?
You don't wet it?
No, I just go to town, man. Put the toothpaste in
Good
there.
Lord.
You going dry?
Yeah,
I'm
Wash
not
out your own
crazy.
mouth?
yeah.
I'm not crazy.
No, and then you put the water in afterwards to clean. Yeah.
No, you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. They'll wash the
I do
fluoride
that,
out
I'm
of your mouth.
sorry.
You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to you just let it sit.
You let it
I do that with
permeate?
my mouthwash.
Okay, if you mouthwash after that's fine for the most part. But you don't like wash your mouth out with water after you brush your teeth, and it gets all the fluoride out.
I like cold water. It's refreshing in the morning and in the evening. Going in raw dog in your own mouth, that's just weird.
I guess it kind of depends on the toothpaste too. Yeah.
How so?
Are you kidding me? There is
Are you
definitely
matching
different
warm
textures.
toothpaste with warm
I know there's
water?
definitely different textures, but like I still want cold water.
No, I'm just saying, like you could have a more
You like doing wine pairings.
Yeah,
with
the
toothpaste.
viscosity of the
Something when it's
toothpaste
different
could be, you
textures.
know, like have you ever?
Toothpaste.
No, there's definitely different textures of toothpaste. Trust me. I've had a few, and there's also those like Tom's, you know, super healthy ones that are like grainy and crap. It's
Yeah, no,
different
stay away from that.
textures.
Fuck that.
Trust me.
That's terrible.
Just saying, there could be different viscosities on these toothpaste.
Never
That way
mix up your
it's a little bit
sometimes
easier.
you have bacon bits your toothpaste, and sometimes you don't. It's weird.
Yeah, never mix up your toothpaste with your like tile grout tube.
Yeah, I can imagine
No,
that
the-
would be bad.
Probably clean.
Also, make sure not to drink with arsenic either. That's probably pretty bad too.
Oh, the worst thing is brushing your teeth and then maybe drinking some orange juice after.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
That's bad.
That's what the orange soda is for. Completely eliminates the problem. Adam Wilson says, if you could only listen to one song for the rest of your life, what song would it be?
Good Lord.
Wow.
That's fucking torture right there. It doesn't matter what song it is.
Desert Island song? Like, I just...
I'm going to go ahead and say silence. Just...
Right,
That's
yeah.
true. You
What's
gotta actually
the
prefer
quietest
no
song? That is hell. That is a hell thing to even think about.
Yeah, that's torturous. No
I'd
thanks.
rather listen to silence. What's that song? 344 or whatever by John Cage? That's just complete silence. That's the song I want to listen to forever. There you go. It won't annoy me.
I forgot to put this guy's name in, but let's get down to the serious stuff. Pizza, 3 toppings only. What do you have? What are the 3 toppings that you have to have on your pizza?
Yo, I need to tell you guys about a pizza I had this week.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it. I'm excited.
So there's a place called Mod Pizza.
Ooh.
Hey, yeah.
Great place. You pay $8 for, like about yay big pizza, nice personal sized pizza.
Build your own.
And you can put whatever you want on it.
Yeah.
You can be like, I want 2 pounds of meat.
All right.
I'll do it.
What if you could put 3 things on that pizza? What would you choose?
And what I did. Are we assuming that sauce and cheese are normal?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
normal on pizza?
Not included in toppings.
Okay. I had now hear me out on this. Broccoli,
Oh, God.
Okay.
chicken,
Yeah.
and bacon.
You lost me with bacon, but if you replace bacon with ricotta, I think I'd be on board.
I also had mushrooms on it too, but
Mushroom.
I love
That's a good
mushrooms.
choice.
The problem with broccoli is that it really depends on how they cook it. Like what
they grilled it so it was a little like roasted before they put it on the pizza.
See, that's
sounds
a
delicious.
detail that's very important right there.
Yeah.
Because when you said broccoli, I'm
You
like,
just won him over.
Hold on. Okay, let me.
Yeah, no, you can't just
I'll
drop up.
DM you guys this. I'll DM you guys this picture on the Twitter thread.
Okay.
And you guys can see for yourself here.
all right,
There you go.
all right. You want to know what mine is? I'm ready.
Yeah.
If I was so you got the sauce,
Okay, it's sent.
you got some extra sauce, you got some extra cheese on there. I'd put some pepperoni because I'm a fan of a good pepperoni. All right. I put some I put some sun-dried tomato on there because those are delicious as well.
Okay.
And I chuck some pineapple on that bitch because it's gonna be delicious. Woo,
My man.
I mean, I'm going with 3 layers of pineapple, so
Whoa.
triple up,
triple pineapple,
triple down.
pure pineapple.
That sounds delicious.
Not gonna lie, I actually had a pizza
talking
like
about
that.
this right
I had a pizza like that.
Just pineapple
Like-
pizza with nothing else.
No, not just pineapple. I had the one that I described of like 4 days ago with a few other things too. But yeah,
I went to Mom Pizza and I was like, I'll have pineapple on the pizza, please. And they're like, what else? I'm like, can you just make it like lots of pineapple? Like, sure.
Yeah, and they'll be like, sure.
That's great.
Cool. Yeah, they're not going to judge you.
Teawrex?
Pepperoni, because who doesn't?
right.
Bacon, because once again, who wouldn't? And then, depending on the type of peppers, like jalapeno peppers.
Delicious.
Oof.
That's good. That's good.
That's a little spicy. I like it. I think I would go with sausage, mushrooms, and Greek olives. Like those real tasty, big-ass black ones.
Oh, nice.
You lost me at olives. I'm just not an olive kind of guy, but I respect it. I
I like the Kalamata.
This is the
olives
most civil
a lot.
conversation we've ever had.
I know, right?
This should change things up. Everyone hates Jerry says, is cereal a soup?
What?
No.
Cereal. Is it a soup?
It's a cereal.
No.
Cereal
No,
is a
you add
classification.
stuff to it. If you technically turn it into a soup, but the bare bones cereal part's not soup.
It's a cereal.
There you go.
Cereal is a cereal.
It's cereal and milk, not cereal with
Yeah.
milk.
Yeah.
It's just-
Exactly.
You
He got you
yes,
there.
you're correct. All right.
Don't
Last
come at
question.
me, cereal people.
Please do.
Last question of the night. Alan says, this is for Holtzmann. Which is better, Magic the Gathering or WoW? But unfortunately, it looks like we got to wrap this one up. We're running a little over time. And Holtzmann, you're a little bit late. So
Yep.
why don't we wrap this up?
Got to wrap it up.
I'll answer it with this. I have a Magic the Gathering thing framed right behind me. I don't have a World of Warcraft thing.
All right.
Good answer. Good answer, guys.
There you go.
Great. Wrapping it
Succinct,
up.
I know, but I could delve more into the real finer
sure
point
you
details,
could,
but I
where can people
won't.
find you, Holtzmann?
Thank you all for tuning in this week. If you want to find more of me, I am at Holtzmann_YT, where you can find me talking about the finer points of World of Warcraft and Magic the Gathering. If you would like to, indulge me, and you can indulge yourself in those two great games.
Plan on indulging myself very shortly. My name is Briar Rabbit. You can find me streaming on Twitch every weekday. You can see me sometimes making YouTube videos these days. And over on Twitter at the Briar Rabbit.
I'm Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. You can catch my streams, twitch.tv/Tefty Teft at 6 p.m. Pacific usually, or a little bit late because I am one of those people that start later sometimes. And then also I have a YouTube channel, and I also want to say that I'm happy that we didn't dive into WoW Classic coming back. So a good thing the podcast is over. All right.
I held myself off.
Hey, where can people find you?
Me, you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/the Teawrex. And then I stream every day around 3 Central Time at twitch.tv/Teawrex, TEAWREX, every single day. Because I'm insane.
Bring us out.
5,000 watts. You can find me uploading YouTube videos sometimes on YouTube, Miss 5,000 watts. I'm streaming and I tweet on the Twitters at Miss 5,000 watts.
Tweet on Twitters.
I tweet on the Twitters.
Tweet on
Twitter
now.
I tweet on
Twitter.
Instagram too sometimes. We don't talk about that.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the 58th
58th.
58th
The
episode.
Pineapple
Destiny-
Pizza Edition episode.
Pineapples.
All right.
I do need a better title for this episode. I was going to go with WoW Classic.
Ooh.
But,
Thank
maybe
God we
I
dodged
will.
that bullet.
I'll name it In-Depth WoW Classic Discussion, and then just hope to ride that.
Ride that
Right to the
wave.
very end. When was the discussion of WoW? It's at the very end.
You stop the recordings, guys.
Clickbait it. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.